West Coast.
Oh yeah, you know I have to turn it up for one time. Elliott, you ready? DJ Head, you ready?
West Coast.
Hey Jeremy, you ready?
They know it's time.
Let's get it. It's a cold game, cold world, that's why we talk about it. Ain't like everybody else that'll just walk around it. Views is different, snap a picture and now it's vintage. Cause it ain't just talking for the views, that's how he meant it. It's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the bigger picture. Yeah, it's the big picture.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. The bigger picture.
How could you, DJ Head?
How could I what?
Lie to the people.
What?
Lie to the people, man.
How'd I lie to
On
you?
our platform, with respect to our platform,
What did I
why are
say?
you lying to the people?
What did I lie about?
You promised me a great week in hip hop with some historic news that was going to
Do we have
shake
the
us
clip
to our
from last
core.
week, Alex, of what was said?
Do we have the clip?
Well, I
from
don't
us?
want to make things up. We don't want to make things up that were said. We'll go off
I'm not
of
a liar, right,
exactly what was
Jeremy?
said.
Am
I
I a
don't think
liar,
you're a liar.
Jeremy? Do I lie to the people?
This was last week. Is that so? That's full circle to this episode. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Just,
So there's no GNX Deluxe coming
just
on
stay
next
on
week.
stream,
So
bro.
we can't get Ray Vaughn on this
Hey,
platform.
listen, next week, it's going to be a great week in hip hop.
Starting which day? After you come back from WrestleMania?
Yes.
On Monday?
It's going to be a great week.
Hit the ground running?
It's going to be a great week in hip hop next week. We're going to have a lot to discuss on Thursday.
Are you serious?
Like some other shit.
I'm just saying, just stay on stream. I'm not whispering shit to you.
All right. So
So
what are we discussing? Incredible. That
Well-
Kendrick tour looked really good. I'll say that.
Well, the GNX tour started.
but it did.
That was the news?
Yeah.
You predicted a stellar opening.
Yeah.
52 songs.
Because I remember seeing a lot of the what do you call them now? Bots online saying that the tour is false.
It's not sold out.
And what is the one thing I've been saying consistently on this platform about faking number streams? What can't you fake?
Hard ticket sales.
You cannot fake hard ticket sales. Do them look like fake ass people in that arena?
They
I'm
didn't.
sorry. In the stadiums?
No.
The other person does arenas.
Aiden Ross said the people are paid to be there. They're bots.
Oh.
That's what the new narrative
Okay.
is, DJ Head.
So what I would like to do is I would love for who'd you say said that?
Aiden Ross.
Aiden Ross. And okay, well, salute to that king. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we have a lot to discuss as far as a lot of people doubting and all of the things about the Grand National Tour. Elliott Wilson is waiting for something. So there's something now. And first of all, here's the other thing too, because I seen Jeremy Heck text us in the group chat, and I basically politely said to go fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is what I had texted him and said, because I asked what we should talk about on the bigger picture today, as I always do on X, and I got like 40 to 50 people just being like, "Are you gonna press DJ Head? He lied to us. Tell him what are we getting? Is it gonna happen
You
tonight?"
lied about the weekend rap.
And so
Lied.
I said, "Head, the fans are asking if they should still be staying on stream before next episode films for the great week in hip hop." And he said, "Tell the fans that I've asked if my dad was still getting me Mortal Kombat on Sega. I'm still waiting on the answer."
All right, so
Fatherless.
I'm gonna show you something.
Oh boy, here we not the fucking phone again.
I'm gonna show you something. Now, something is coming.
Okay.
And first of all, let me preface this. Okay, every time I speak, doesn't mean I'm speaking about the homie. Dot is on tour. Okay, that ship is gone. So anytime I speak about something coming or whatever the case may be, I didn't promise y'all nothing having to do with K. Kendrick Lamar or K. Llama. So kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't expect it to be Kendrick related, but I expected something.
Something is coming. It got pushed back.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to show you something, right? Now, I want you to just read this. Read this. Now, this part, have you seen that yet? Hold on. Have you seen this yet? Just this part.
Like an eye test.
I was aware it was happening, but I did not see it.
You did not see it?
I did not see it.
PG Lang.
You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
You think you know that it supposedly exists.
With was it a couple other rappers?
Do you know about this?
Yeah, I know about it.
You heard
Yeah,
about it.
I heard-
Rumblings.
Yes. Yeah, I was there that day. I did not see the...
This is true.
Okay, but I didn't hear what was said.
Oh. On contrary, I heard what it said. So the reason why I'm saying this is this part right here
Yes.
got pushed back a week. This is coming right after.
This is very, very
You look
vague.
very happy.
There's
You look
well,
very happy. You're smiling. I'm seeing a lot
so-
of dimples right now.
Jeremy Hecht.
Because I'm still miserable.
Jeremy Hecht is Canadian, so he's not gonna vouch for anything that I'm saying because I'm from LA. So what I just showed you.
Can I ask a quick clarification question? The first part of that two-statement thing
Goddamn
was
puzzle. The bigger
was
puzzle.
the first part
The bigger puzzle.
a rap or that was speaking? That was
Both.
just there's both.
Both.
Okay.
Sick of these
Okay.
niggas.
So are you cool now?
I'm cool. Can I
No.
give a like
No. Because
obtusely?
Okay, so why do we you are very poised about putting information out until it's ready.
correct.
Why do you feel so assured that it was going to happen, and then why did it get pushed back?
So there's an entity that is beyond my control, in which
Control is an interesting word.
shut the fuck up.
No, I'm just saying it's an interesting word.
There's an entity that is involved.
God?
No.
God is always in
He's
control.
Well,
always
God
on
is
time.
always in
And he's
control.
always on
Gotcha.
time. Yeah.
But there's an entity that's in control that's beyond me. And so once this happens, all I'm gonna say is just remember how things transpired before. And
So we're about to have the week that we were going to have last week.
no, I'm saying remember how things you'll see.
So you just want credit for the shit. So when you have an amazing week and all these things happen, Head told you it was coming.
No. I'm gonna stop doing this.
You
Because
rarely do it. That's why I'm upset.
you rarely do.
You
No,
never do it.
I'm not.
We're
I'm gonna,
45 in. You never did it till 44.
I know that, but what I'm saying, the reason why is because it's really good.
I could tell. That's the anticipation.
But my problem is, it's like every time I speak, I'm speaking about this. I'm hitting innuendos. Oh, these West Coast guys are so cryptic, right? That's what.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
Yes.
But you played into the stereotype even more by this egregious act last week of saying something's coming and you didn't deliver.
it's not that I didn't deliver. It's
You
beyond
didn't
me.
deliver.
I
Nothing
did-
happened. It didn't
The
happen.
GNX tour happened.
That's not what you meant.
How do you
just
know?
said? You just said you didn't.
I know. I
Because
said
you just showed Jeremy your magic phone where all things live.
no.
Your phone, if you fucking get us huge ratings on the bigger picture, your phone is the magic thing. Like,
that's not
I'm
why.
just saying.
That's not what I do.
But we got our platform, responsible for our platform, as you said. So why are we putting information out if we're not?
GNX tour happened. I said
That's
that.
not what is.
And then
Jeremy, what you saw on
no,
the phone has everything to do with GNX store.
No. Hold on. And then
No.
I added some guac on top of the nachos. The nachos is GNX tour. I added some guac, extra scoop.
You wasn't announcing to us that the GNX tour was happening. We saw the dates, nigga. We knew niggas was gonna be in
I didn't
Minnesota
say I
that
was
week.
announcing the GNX
So
tour.
we knew
I
what week
said
was
we
on
don't
the
have a lot
calendar
to
was there.
discuss.
We knew John Cena was wrestling for the title. We knew these things were happening. You had we wanted to know what we didn't know. You teased what we didn't know. That only you know and want to let the world know. Every hip hop fan is going to be impacted by it. But then nothing happened.
The GNX tour happened.
I have something to say about that. Last thing on that, and we
And John Cena won his belt, not your belt, but
off
he won a
camera.
belt.
We got to discuss it more. But why does if I'm thinking of the right thing, somebody who I love and revere as an artist, why does he always have to be involved in this stuff? Why can't he just have a peaceful day? He just wants peace
No,
and to wrap his ass
that's
up.
not true.
No.
No. That's
Okay.
not true.
All right.
So now you're
okay.
the cryptic boys. You just like now you're a tag team champions and shit,
okay.
right?
No,
Now you got this
we'll-
secret
we'll-
information of the
I'm a
ethos.
single
No, no,
competitor,
no,
Elliott
no.
Wilson.
You make me sicker than these dot conspiracists.
I'm okay with
you know
that.
You talk about the dot conspiracists and how
I'm
because the
perfectly
nigga
fine
said
with it.
this on the 7th, so the 7 times he blinked his eyes, and it gets on your nerves. Your information little portal on your phone, and this guy getting roped in every single time, and excited and heartbroken,
and
the
heartbroken, yeah.
emotional strings up and down.
I'm okay with how you feel, and I acknowledge your feelings, and they're valid.
What did you think was gonna happen this week?
I
Well,
did
you have any
know, which is
predictions?
great. I try to keep an open mind. Something exciting in hip hop. That's what I was promised. Something that would be like, and I felt good that our platform, where DJ had as a major part of it, was telling the world first, informing the world first that it was going to happen.
Okay, well,
I just think there is a responsibility to our platform.
what I'll do is
Like, what if I said, let's play remote. If Elliott said, yo, some incredible shit about to happen, guys, next week, blah, blah, and then I come in and nothing happened, How would you guys receive that?
I wouldn't give a fuck.
You wouldn't give a fuck.
No, I got
I'd be
shit going on.
heartbroken.
You be all
I'm heavily invested in the culture, and I'm heavily invested in the things that I enjoy and whatnot, clearly. But I also understand that sometimes things get moved.
Okay, so I have 3 grievances with you. Can I air the other 2 now?
I have some grievances too.
You always have. Everybody got grievances with me.
Listen,
touche.
I get to sit back and ask you guys questions this week because there's lots to talk about. You go.
Well,
first.
you were late and you're really late, so that's my second grievance. My third is this. Are you ready to explain the world that Rory and Mal in
Let's do it.
particular, have placed a challenge? The bigger platform has challenged the bigger picture, and Head in particular, to do a debate. And I can't get no clear answer whether or not the homie wants to do it. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like,
Can we take a look at
are we
the,
ducking
the
smoke?
clip,
Are we from
Alex?
the West Coast? Are we ducking a fade?
You from Queens, remember?
We ducking a
You
fade?
didn't denounce Queens.
I'm not denouncing Queens. I'm riding with you on the West Coast, and now we're denouncing. We're not accepting the fade.
He changed his name to West Coast Wilson.
West Coast Wilson.
He's ready
I
to
feel
go.
invested.
This is the official challenge for those who
Oh.
didn't see Rory and Mal posed to
I'm
the bigger
exhausted.
picture.
Can we reach out to Jubilee and do Maul versus 20 Kendrick fans?
Oh, let's do it. Let's fucking go.
You versus 20 Kendrick fans and DJ Head versus 20 Drake fans would be worth Jubilee's time.
Me and DJ Head in a room with 1 camera and 2 mics.
I have asked you, I would set that up tomorrow.
Head don't want that.
I'd pay for the ticket.
That, man. He
One-on-one
don't
challenge.
want that.
DJ Head, are you window or aisle? I will pay for it.
More, I don't know. If he agree, would you do it?
Yeah.
DJ Head is a good
Set it up,
competitor.
Rory. Set it up, Rory.
I'm just saying, I think maybe you have DJ Head fucked up as far as how he could pod and articulate. Like DJ Head, that would be a good matchup.
I would only sit down with Head because of
that,
I
yeah.
respect him and how articulate he is and how knowledgeable he is on just hip hop and music in general.
I think we should show the world that we can all get along.
I'm in. You don't need me to say nothing else. I'm in. Just let me know when and where. I'm in.
Me and Jeremy will put together the questions.
Nah. See,
got
'cause
scared of
that's
my
3
questions.
Kendrick
That's what
fans.
happened.
You, Jeremy, and Head, and nigga me. I'll fight all 3 of you niggas though. Don't get it twisted. I ain't pussy. I'll fight all 3 of y'all, but I just know what I'm walking into.
But we'd have to do it on Aiden Ross's live stream.
Oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
The challenge was sent out there to the world. DJ Head.
How do we
Then
feel?
I followed up. I spoke to my good friend Rory. He's like, we could do this thing. We could have a boxing ring. First, it was going to be politics, like a politician debate. He said, no, we can get a boxing ring. You guys should come out to New York. We'll see if Volume could pay for it. Uprise could pay for it. We'll figure out the business involved, and let's do this vision. And Jeremy could be in the corner of Head, and Rory could be in the corner of Mal, and prepare them. Me and Damaris, their producer, could be the commentators. Like, let's make a beautiful event happen. And I'm like, this guy's in Las Vegas. He's wrestling and shit. I don't know what he wants to do, but I can't get a clear answer on
well,
what's
he
going
posted
on.
the clip
I
in the
can't
group
get a
chat and
clear
then never
answer.
answered after that.
I say, let's go, DJ. I can't get no clear answer. Rory hits me. I was like, I'll talk to that nigga. I don't know what what's going. So I now we start the show. Can we say who was on your phone right before we started beginning taping? Rory's on the goddamn phone with a white beater on and shit, showing all his Irish physique, white Irish physique. So what the fuck is going on? Am I going to New York? Am I witnessing the great rap debate 1 year later after Drake versus Kendrick? Mal on the Drake side, Head on the Kendrick side. The greatest hip hop battle turns 1 year old on what, May 4th?
Yeah.
And we can have the proprietors of East Coast battling about it, the East and the West, man. Are we doing this? Are we the bigger picture on the bigger platform? What are we doing, Rory and Mal? Are we in or not? What we doing? We ride or not? Should I stay in the car or get out? Because I'm scared.
Elliott's ready to slide.
Am I sliding or not? I'm in the back seat. Should I stay in the car or get the fuck out the car?
DJ Head, your response.
I hate this show. I hate these niggas. I hate the show. I hate these guys. Where's B.Dot? God damn it.
Hey,
We got to get to
B-Dot,
that.
you hungry?
We
Hey,
got more to
B-Dot, you
talk
hungry?
about. We
Let's
got more
go.
to talk
good
about.
luck with that.
I know that group chat's on fire. Ooh, that group chat's on fire. I got the most obvious group chats against me,
You're
boy.
doing some
They be on
crazy
fire.
group chats. Your name is in some group chats, probably. Okay.
Just Jimmy, before he goes, Jimmy, can you play how you feel? How, again, your heartstrings are being pulled in different directions yet again.
I know.
All Jimmy says to me is, I just want you guys to know if Head's down, I'm down too. I'm down to really go. Like, put pressure on him, Jeremy.
You want me to give my honest opinion on
Yes,
this? Okay.
before we hear DJ Head's response to the challenge, because we don't know. We don't know shit. We work with this guy every week for 45 fucking weeks with this guy. I don't know nothing about him. What's the situation?
You know I don't like buttons.
I do. You hate buttons.
We
You
do know
despise
that.
buttons.
Yeah.
I'd be excited for this to happen. Personally, I think we've been having a light Cold War with Rory and Mal. It's been all jokes, all fun. I think it would be nice to get two completely different and opposite opinions in the same room. For me, I think it would be, beneficial. I thought for you, it would be beneficial. Now, here's my thing.
Damn Skippy.
Here's my thing. I thought DJ Head had the most to lose in this situation, and he wouldn't necessarily lose. But I thought, what does it benefit Head to sit down against Mal? And that's what I was wondering, because I didn't know. That's why I'm in. I know you're in, but I understood if Head would say yes or
and
no.
being
both
inconvenienced,
ways.
have to go fly to New York, these type of things. The West Coast Giant going back to the Big Apple soil. Like, there's things to question about
Yeah, there's
this.
things to think about. But I'm in.
But we've yet to hear how Head feels about any of this. He walks in 15 minutes late to the show. Like we're on the Joe Budden podcast. Motherfuckers started coming in late now. And Rory's on the phone, so I got to shut the fuck up. Rory's on the phone. God damn, okay. So, are you willing to share any of this information, DJ Head? Yo, if I was home watching this shit, I would be so fucking irritated and excited at the same damn time.
As if you're not irritated now.
Watch
Yeah, you're right here irritated.
But I'm not a fan of it. I'm just, I'm in it, actually. Or here's the thing, hey, you can leave us ass California and go dolo. Effective your ass out there by yourself and do the battle. Either way, I think you should do the battle. That's my opinion.
Why do you think I should do it?
Because I think it represents the culture, which is a great historic battle happened in hip hop a year ago. I don't think it's about who really wins the debate. I just think it represents that this is what was going on in hip hop last year at this time. That you was a key figure in this conflict of Drake and Kendrick, and Mal was the key figure in it. And I think it represents hip hop.
I have some sample. Do you want to hear some of my sample questions / statements to debate over? One of them is that
How many have you written down, Jeremy?
I haven't written any. This is off the top. I'm just kind of barring up here. But true or false, Drake has continued to drag this battle on through his ongoing actions post the Heart Part 6. And that would be something that both sides could debate on.
Well, it's true,
But the other side might say false.
So what I would like is clarity on what the fuck we're debating. John Cena won the title at WrestleMania 41 against Cody Rhodes.
You were there.
I was there.
Saw it happen.
What is there to debate about that? If I'm a wrestling analyst, right, and I'm watching John Cena win the title against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, there was no like this or that. There was no disqualification. There was none of that. He won. What is there to debate?
It's a valid point.
So I'm willing to go have a conversation, but I'm not really into the like shenanigans of it. I don't want the boxing ring and the podiums and like just go on the show just like you did. Well, I'm not like you did, but I'll go on the show.
Don't do that. I was that. Don't do that. That was a tough day.
I'll go on the show and we can have a conversation, but I'm not interested in like, hey, let's prep these like debate questions and then, like we can just have a conversation. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
But
So that's
like,
dolo. So not the theatrics, not the bigger picture. Not the,
yeah, I don't.
It's just you'll just go out there, do the interview.
I'm not interested in like. I don't see that being like a.
Yeah.
That's not part of my personality.
Got you. Okay, I respect it.
But
All
yeah.
right, so we as your partners in one of your endeavors, we support that. So we hope you go out there.
Yeah,
do the interview,
I'm
do
down
the
to go have a
conversation.
conversation, but it was like yo, we're gonna have the referee and Jeremy's gonna like prep questions.
Steel cage.
And I'm like, we're gonna do trivia. I'm like, what trivia? Like DDG stream. Name 5 Kendrick songs. It's like, bro, like what the fuck are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like most of the time, when you're close to individuals, like how many times did you ever sit and talk? Like when you talk to Hove, you'd be like, man, Reason About track 7, like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not a conversation with your homies like that. Not people that you. So I don't necessarily see the point in that. But I'm definitely down to go.
You want it to be an organic way. You don't want to frame it with theatrics and streaming and all that.
That's just not what I do.
Yeah, I respect it. Okay,
I like that.
But you know.
But you'll do it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. You'll go to New York.
Yeah. I fuck with New York.
You're busy. You got this show. You got
The
Effective
typography
Immediately.
of New York is confusing. I ain't gonna lie. Though.
What's it confusing?
Typography. Look that shit up.
The typography? Wait, look, I'm confused.
That's a good lookup.
You don't know the subway route? I got you, man. What you
No,
mean?
that's not what typography is.
It's the art and technique of arranging type to make written language legible, readable, and visually appealing.
What are you looking at? Signs? Just call Uber or something.
No, it's just like one time I got on the train, bro. I got on the train.
The trains are tricky now.
Bro, I got on the train to go fucking. I think I was trying to go to Queens. I ended up in Brooklyn somewhere.
Yeah, don't take the trains.
I was like, yo, I need to stay on the Ubers, champ.
Share the Uber ship.
Yeah, it's like why y'all got 2 6th streets?
Also, those are
That's fucking
I did that
stupid.
once. I went to the wrong one once.
Like, bro, why is it 2 6th streets? You know how
You
confusing
know what we
that
used to do
is?
with Fun Weekend? The weekends they would just change the route, so the weekends would be a whole different route.
Are you
sometimes.
serious?
Yeah, so it'd be like, but that's
See, it was a weekend.
See, they changed the route,
Bro, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah, see, that's the audible they don't tell you about the New York subway
They
system.
change it on the
They'll
weekends?
change because they're clearing out areas to clean certain tracks and roads, so they'll switch it up.
That's
on
some
you.
bullshit.
And they won't tell you.
That's
like
some
that.
real bullshit.
You have to be really savvy to know how to then navigate.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
so I'll just stick to the Ubers and lakes I'm used to. But yeah.
So we look forward to a appearance of DJ Head on the Rory Mall platform very soon.
Stay on stream.
So can I send questions still?
This counts as a promise.
No, Jeremy.
But it doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
to
got
be
Rory's
debate.
number. I got Rory's number.
I'm sending some questions in.
What kind of questions would you
I
like?
told
answered?
you
Save
that
him,
was-
Jeremy. Save him.
I
You got
wanted to be-
Rory. Got a
I'll
line on
prep you.
Rory.
But why?
Because I think there's
There's
things
things
that have
we
been
would love to
said
hear
that
Ask
need
me
to be
now.
clear.
Go. Shoot.
Well,
Yeah, give him one. So since we're not invited now, Jeremy, give him one now. What we'd ask him. People want to hear you guys discuss this. Not win a debate like you said. Kendrick won the debate, the battle. It's more about love to hear your perspective, especially a year later, about certain things that happened.
here's one.
That's interesting to a rap fan.
Because Maul had said that the Hard Part 6 is going to age really well, and over time we're going to
That record's
really
gonna age
realize
really well.
the genius of that song. So I want to know from his perspective, what are we missing? What was supposed to age
Well, you're first
really
saying you
well?
don't think it has aged well.
Yeah, like the statement would be the Hard Part 6 aged well, and he would say yes, and you say no, or the white flag comment. You said the Hard Part 6 was Drake waving the white flag, saying I don't want to rap anymore. He might argue differently or say no, he actually did want to continue to rap, and you would say, well,
So why didn't he drop another record?
that's the conversation. That would be interesting.
When I said it was over, there was no more records.
It didn't count him hopping on with Sexy Red over to BBL Drizzy right after that.
What do you think, Elliott?
BBL Drizzy.
By the way, when I said it's over, that was me regurgitating what was told to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was said
And it-
publicly. What Top said or Punch, one of them tweeted out, it's over. Great battle, good battle. Like the energy was out there.
And I do think it was him saying on the song, you can drop 1,000 more, you can drop 100 more songs, do what you want.
I'm
but
out.
I'm out. Like he said it in not so many words. So anyways, I just think that
But
was
yeah,
interesting.
anybody that wants to like debate me as far as like this whole thing, I mean, it's like, bro, what's there?
We
So
saw what happened.
it's not a debate. It's a discussion. It's a
Yeah,
conversation.
I'm down to have a discussion, a
Yeah.
conversation.
We love hip hop.
discourse.
This was an important moment for your career in some sense, right? Or impact you made in the culture,
see that.
right? It
Yeah.
brought a lot of your. I mean, you obviously already had a decorated career, but it raised your profile,
Yeah.
obviously. And it's interesting to now look back at it and how we feel a year later.
I was like,
as
yeah, let's
some of
debate
them
Kamala versus Trump. The fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, that would be a
Well, I'm
different-
excited. I look forward
Yeah,
to
me
that.
too.
So
I'm
I
excited.
always forgiven. I love you now. Again.
Well,
I love you.
Speaking of
You're a
podcast,
champion, DJ.
Well, I do
Head.
have some accountability for you
Go
later.
ahead, yes. Go
well,
no,
back.
later.
I was gonna go there right now because
Oh, shit.
we were speaking of podcasts.
Yeah, let's
and
get it out the
we
way
got
now.
the
What are we
JBP
getting out the
hoodie
way?
on because we
Fuck
gotta
we get out
start. We
the
gotta
way?
start with the shits. We gotta start with the shits.
JBP?
Yeah.
What I do without the
JBP?
JBP?
Yeah, pull his
So,
motherfucking clip up.
Yeah, do we have a clip? Your former
You
co-host
saying?
B.Dot
Shit.
went on the Joe Budden podcast. I was aware that he was going
Yeah.
on the show because he posted a
Yeah.
picture. I did not know that you
Let's
were
get to
called
it.
in. And he said some things about
Yeah.
Joe was being a little messy. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Joe was
Yeah, let's
Joe
get to- let's
Joe-
get to the
Joe
shit.
You know why
wanted
man
to
was
get to
talking
the
to me?
bottom of it.
An aggressive
Yeah.
tone.
And I
wanna
like the way
see
you
DJ
flipped that.
Head with Maul. Yeah, let's pull this shit up.
I did like the way you flipped it on Joe on that call, but we'll get into this timeline. But for those who didn't know, B.Dot's on Joe Budden. Joe is asking B.Dot about what happened with Rap Radar.
Yeah.
This had 1 million
Let that
views
play what
on
that
Twitter.
king said.
Let that king be heard.
I was just ready to get back to work.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, and then we just became free agents. That was in May, and I was like,
Okay.
Kind of had that, like that. What the fuck? Kind of what the hell?
What the fuck?
Right. What the hell's going on?
What the hell, you?
You know, and
What the hell is?
But you never demanded answers from him. Did you ever have the what the hell conversation with Elliott?
Last time we spoke to him.
that's the last time we spoke. Was
That's the part that.
we're friends.
That's crazy.
We're not friends.
Oh,
I'm not. We're friendly. And I got love for him, but we're not
20
friends
years,
in
no
the traditional sense.
friendship?
It's not like I'm hitting him up casually, like, hey, it's Saturday, let's go get a couple Budweisers. You know, like that's not our relationship.
Wow.
And never been.
Nah, it's never been.
Wow.
You know, Elliott's a cool guy. You know, working with him isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do.
Cool guy, right?
He's a
But
cool
I think
guy.
that like the
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's been fun. We made history. You know, we did a lot of iconic shit. But you know, I think the last year and a half has been exacerbated.
Look that
because of
shit up.
You, Joe Budden.
Oh, yeah. No, now we here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, we here now, nigga.
You are Yoko Ono.
Oh, shit.
Because when we had you on the show,
Yeah.
2023, I feel like you antagonized him, you gassed him
Gassed Elliott
into
up.
leading into this antagonistic persona that we see right now that's kind of becoming a little bit unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable
I
person.
feel like I saw the
why do you
effects of
look
that
the same
shortly
style?
after because Elliott slighted Drake, he slighted SZA.
That man is cooking.
Who else was it? It was
Cam.
like Nicki Minaj. I was recently
Casanat. It was a
Sway, Angie Martinez, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yo,
it was
what,
a lot.
what the hell is going on? And I feel like your influence encouraged him to lean
You
into
and
this.
act, yo.
The villain.
Yeah,
You inspired
the
the
villain. It kind of taints the work that we've done.
Feisty
You
Elliott.
know what I mean, overshadows it. You know what I'm saying? Because the messages that I get in the streets, they don't say the Elliott Wilson nigga. They say the Rap Radar niggas is whack. From the rappers and the managers, and you know, like
What's up with your mans?
yeah, a lot of those. You know that scene in Casino when Nicki's talking to Sam. That's the conversation. And I've had these conversations with Elliott. I pulled him to the side, but you know, you can't tell a grown man what to do.
Did you block Elliott?
No, I ain't blocking him.
You're just not speaking.
He said no more.
No, I never blocked Elliott. I don't even follow Elliott, man.
Wait, you don't follow Elliott? Did you ever follow him?
I'm calling Cap.
I mean,
I think he was.
Nah.
You never did?
Wow.
Okay, so we need to get
Wow.
Rap Radar.
We need to get your
Joe
full
Budden
reaction.
Podcast.
I-
The bigger picture.
I did want to.
Oh, it's a roller coaster ride this Saturday morning, kids. What we call it now? Charlamagne got something to say? What's up?
No, I did want to say before I wanted to cut you some bail on that comment he made about you guys not talking
Okay.
since May or whatever it was, because heads on the phone with somebody. But you said, or he said that you haven't
is the
talked to
craziest show
him
ever.
since May.
Yes.
He easily could have reached out to you as well. That's a two-sided street. So I
Yes.
will say, you know, that
Wait,
was
repeat
my
that.
first
DJ
thought.
Head didn't hear you. You swear got something. Your first opinion. I'll respond to this. But I want DJ to hear what you said.
I was saying, you know, B.Dot said that, you know, Elliott hasn't reached out since May, and Joe and all the guys were like, why hasn't, when Elliott called in, why haven't you reached out? It's a two-way street, and I think that, you know, if B.Dot wanted to, he could have reached out to Elliott
not a
as
two-way
well.
street?
You don't think so?
Continue.
But that was the only point I wanted to make beforehand. But Elliott, how did you feel watching that? Did you know ahead of time? Did Joe say, "Hey, I'm going to call you in," or he called you out of nowhere when he did call you?
He called me out of nowhere, but B.Dot had teased that he was going to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So my assumption was he did the show, and then after he left the show, was not there anymore. Busybody Joe called me and was like, you know, going to try to stir things up. So that's why I picked up. But I did not know B.Dot was still there. I couldn't hear B.Dot on anything. I couldn't hear Ice. I couldn't hear, just because I'm on the phone, I didn't clearly hear all the audio you're hearing.
Okay.
So I heard Joe going into his theatrics. I heard Mel in the background. I think Mark asked me a
said something, yeah.
question. I heard him, and maybe Ish asked me a question. I answered that, and yeah, that was like, but because I knew some shenanigans would happen, but I did not know B.Dot was in the thing when I was speaking. But I still told my truth. I mean, there's 8 million ways to answer this. So the other part you're saying is like, I hate when people act like people get fixated when you say you're cool with somebody. Like, you know, when's the last time y'all spoke? Like that's the measuring stick of all things. When in real coolness or friendship or whatever you call it between men, The onus of a real connection is that if you meet somebody way back years later, you go right back. It doesn't skip a beat, right? It's not about like my friend from college I ain't spoke to in 4 years. I run into him, it's good energy. So people get fixated. It's like a divisive thing of like, are you friends? When's the last time you spoke? And it's like he made it clear before you heard from me that he said we weren't friends. Part of why we weren't friends is because we met with a huge age difference and a huge position of different places where I'm running Double XL and he's coming in as an intern, graduate college, editorial assistant. So that guy's not going to be the other guy's friend like that. I put him on. He worked at Double XL. We built the Rap Radar blog together, the site, me and him. But there's always been an age difference. And I say we're great business partners. Doesn't make us friends per se.
What made you choose him?
Huh?
You said you put him on. What made you?
I think B.Dot is amazing. I think what always stood out to me with the XXL years was he was bold enough to, you put the interns in the meeting or the lower people in the meeting, whatever, staff-wise. So the meeting dies down, you kind of open the floor to people to say things. He was always bold enough to say something. You know what I mean? And whether he was like, oh, the room goes, oh, B.Dot's bugging. Like, he was that guy. Like, he was bold enough, like a young Jeremy, to like insert himself and had a different viewpoint. And he came to XXL from a different perspective where I always say it's like analogy to sports. Like, everyone loves you when you're like fighting to be the champion. You're the underdog to be the champion. But the area that doesn't get glorified is when you're the champion and you have to kind of defend the title and reign. So a lot was said about the sources that Elliott XXL, he's trying to kill the source. He can't do it. It's the Bible. It can't happen. It takes forever. So then when I finally beat the source and we're number one, that's kind of when B.Dot's era comes in. So now it's like, what does it mean to be number one in our space? And what can we continue to do that's dope? And we need a new energy like B.Dot to help carry XXL to be dominant from 05 to, let's say, I got fired in 08 or 09. 08, I got fired. Those 3 to 4 years. So that's what stood out to me. And then I got fired, and then by the time I got fired, I was gonna start Rap Radar, the website, and a couple different people. I needed one young partner, like one person with me to do it to begin. And I had one person in mind that fell through. I had another person in mind that fell through. And then I went to the bank to get one of my checks from Harris Publications, and I ran into B.Dot, and B.Dot had just gotten let go too. He had got laid off. And I was like, this is perfect timing. So that's when we had the infamous meeting at the Georgia Diner in Queens. And I told him my idea about Rap Radar as a website, and I hired him. Paul Rosenberg hired him officially, my partner. And we ran Rap Radar website from 08 to 2017. We started the podcast, which was B.Dot's idea, because I was like, I didn't want to do the podcast because there's a Combat Jack, there's all these other things. They're going to say Elliott's coming into the podcast market and trying to bully everybody, and I'm the bad guy again. But B.Dot's like, this is the future podcasting. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we did it from 015 to whatever. So, the one time I don't come through and the deal falls through, it's like I'm the bad guy. I tried to make the deal happen. The deal fell apart. I take accountability because the deal didn't happen. So that's it. Why would I not reach out? I figured he's mad at me because the deal didn't work out. Like, yo, how you feel? You like how I didn't make that deal not happen? Like it's on him. I haven't ducked one phone call, one text, one reach out to me. As my grandma said, the phone works both ways. So I wasn't trying to make no statement by not speaking to B.Dot. I continue to assert that if we're able to get a new deal for Rap Radar, we would go back to doing the interviews. We would miss a beat. It would be back to what it was. We know what to do. We're two great journalists. We know how to prepare for interviews. We still have great chemistry, and that's what's going on. The final thing, this idea that Elliott got influenced by Joe Budden. Joe Budden did influence me, him and Ian Schwartzman, to join Patreon. So what happens is we launched that like early 2023. Joe Budden is one of our first guests, where he has the thing where he's pushing me to be more self-branding. So in September of that, while I'm still doing Rap Radar, I launched Elliott Wilson Experience on Patreon. I do a couple episodes there. I'm still doing Rap Radar podcast. We have the Tyler, the Creator interview, all these other great moments after this Joe Budden changing Elliott thing happened. And we did that till the end of 2023. So I already started doing my own thing, and now Elliott Wilson Experience is about to come back again, funded by Rock Nation for a season 2, but that outside of Patreon. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted from Patreon the way a Joe Budden had, so I stopped doing it. But that's what I was influenced to do at that time, at that situation. So, and then as far as my opinion, as people may know, with Everyday Struggle originally was supposed to be me and Joe Budden. I stepped out. It became Academic's platform to shine. That show would have been my first time having a platform where I give my opinion about things, where I'm not relying on guests, where I tell people how I feel about things. Uncut, raw honesty. That didn't happen. Now, when we create the bigger picture, this is now my platform to do that. So you get a lot more of that from me. So maybe you're not used to that, but that's what this is on, because this is the world we're in, where it's now about more commentary about these artists and not having the access to them, as we've said ad nauseum, that we once had. So now you get a little bit more of how Elliott actually feels. And you see me express my frustrations about the state of the game. I feel Rap Radar deserves to have a good, reasonable, sizable deal in the marketplace. It's not existing right now. And I think people say the podcast boom is over. They say it's a streamer's boom, but nobody's funding anybody to even have a chance to create streams or become a good streamer. We're only celebrating the independent people that made their fortunes and they're in a place. But I feel like, who's backing these new creators? Where are the deals for young podcasters, young streamers? Where is the money? You know, it's frustrating. So you see that. And I think that sometimes I lead with some of the toxic parts of me of just this competitive, sometimes jealousy shit, and you get that side of it. And that's what's reflective.
Well, I had a question.
But I
I'm
wonder
sure
how
your
you guys
question.
feel.
Well, the one thing I did want to say about Elliott Wilson as a persona, I think, I mean, I haven't known you that long as a person individually, but from what I've seen, even looking back, like, you were always that guy at XXL. You were always writing editorials. You were always puffing your chest up. I think that this is the first time that people are seeing you give your opinion on camera on a consistent basis, and that competitive fire and spirit that you never run away from and you're very open about. You want to be the best. You still want to be at the top of your game. So I think that might be jarring to some people. I'm surprised that was jarring to B.Dot, because you guys have known each other for a really long time. So that's where I felt like there was a disconnect. Like, maybe something happened with that Joe thing, or like, I guess I was confused.
I think it's more that he doesn't agree about it. Look, we both have a great rapport with Drake, so I'm sure he's still cool with Drake. Drake doesn't love how I'm moving, right? So, you know, and other people he speaks to. So I think he probably doesn't agree with some of that. He has the right to feel that way. He doesn't agree with some of the things I'm doing. And like he said, he does catch heat. You guys catch heat sometimes, I'm sure, from me. Or like, if you work with somebody, you kind of not inherit their beef, but you inherit some of the, you know, drama that may come that way. So I think it's more about him not agreeing with some of the takes I've had and how he's being impacted by it, which is fair to him to express his frustration.
And then the other really big question that I had was just about the actual deal, without getting into like super specifics. I guess afterward, A, like, was there something specific you didn't like about the deal? And then B, how did it end after that? For example, like, let's say we were all working on a show together and we were trying to get a deal done, and then let's say the deal doesn't happen. Like, I would assume the way it ends is us still like trying to make it happen.
Here's a brief version. Let's take it back. So I have a lawyer. I'm not going to say specific companies because I don't put business out there like that. Lawyer from a real big firm. Like, I tend to work with junior people from big firms, right? I'm not the level of stardom where I got the A-list person from the A-list agency. So I have a lawyer from a big firm, but the junior person from that firm, junior agent on a big firm. So when we first went to open market, the first deal we got, those people helped us get the Interval Warner Brothers deal. We shopped it to the open market, and that was the most receptive. So we did the deal. They got the deal done. So I give all credit to them. They took us to market. We gave them the tools. We got that offer from Warner that was starting a podcast division. We did a deal, I guess, 2021, and it ran to 2023, and then they shut the company down. So that entity outside of me and outside of my relationships or B.Dot's relationships got us that deal. So now that ends. We go back to open market. A partner that we were going to possibly do a deal with to connect to the first deal, when that first fell through, comes back around and says, now we're free agents, let's talk about doing a deal. And the back and forth between my team and their team just didn't work out. Like language and contracts and stuff, like you think you agree to a certain term and then you get the contract back and it's not reflective. Like tedious things like that. It wasn't about the money. The money was kind of solid of what it was going to be. But it was more about that and that communication. So looking back at it, I feel there may have been even some resistance within that company where some people were on board with the deal and some people probably weren't. But I still take responsibility on my end because I did command my side to say, you know what, let's just get it done. Let's get it signed. We'll work through the kinks. And they were hesitant because they felt confident that they could get it to what it needed to be to reflect how they felt it should be. And with that dragging, things just got delayed, and then we started not getting clear answers. Then when we finally spoke to the owner of the company, that was a call with me, B.Dot, and the owner. He said, I can't do the deal anymore because it dragged a little too long and I had to allocate the funds these other places, and let's revisit the top of next year. And that's where the deal fell through. So me and B.Dot were both informed at the same time that the deal was officially not going to happen.
And then when they said we were going to revisit at the top of next year, did you and B.Dot kind of end that conversation like, okay, that's the plan. Let's revisit at the top of next year?
No, that's when the communication ceased between me and him.
But so I guess what was the final convo? Like, did you guys say, all right, like let's
you just
or
saw
that
the
was
final
it?
convo.
Like it was
on the Joe Budden network. You saw the final convo. No, there was no communication since then on either end, and I just assumed he's like not feeling that it didn't go down, is frustrated by it, and we'll probably talk again. Or I'm in the West Coast, and DJ hasn't spoken yet. I wanted to ask your opinion about something, but I would love to get the thoughts, views, and opinions of DJ Head. That's we're hogging the mic here. The champion. Head Free 16.
How did you feel watching this go down? And,
The
were the
champion.
group chats going crazy?
He loves it. It's on me now. It was all in my head to begin. It's on me now. Oh, Lord.
You know what? I was gonna crash out on Elliott today about this whole thing, but I'm going to take a different approach, and I'm going to use the grace that I've been learning from my female friends. Okay. So part one. What?
Starting
Part one.
starting a segment with part one is hilarious.
All right. So Elliott Wilson and Brian B.Dot Miller.
Exactly. B.Dot.
Because branding matters. I am very disappointed in both of you. As elder statesmen in the space, as people that I have watched traverse many of things, I'm very disappointed in. Well, I've already told you that, but I'm very disappointed in B.Dot. Actually, I have 3 gripes with B.Dot specifically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, 2 gripes. I'll just stick to 2. I have 2 gripes with B.Dot. One is when put in these positions, like for instance, when there are human beings are naturally bloodthirsty, like vampires, right? We just want the crash outs. We want the bullshit. If you're playing with a baby and you hit yourself and you act hurt, the baby laughs. It's innate. It's just innate. We fuck with the bullshit. That's neither here nor there. There are whole coliseums in Europe dedicated to blood sport. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The internet is the same thing. The internet is the coliseum. The internet is going to say, we want Head and Ack, and we want Head and Maul, and we want Jeremy and Rory, and we want all of the crash out bullshit. And so when I look at this whole thing with you and B.Dot, I'm disappointed in the sense that it's like there's nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You all are beefing, Cold War, however you want to paraphrase it. You all are beefing, and there's been no loss of life. There's been no one that has crossed the line or disrespected each other in a certain way, or there's nothing, right? But this is playing out in the public, and it doesn't have to be. I come from the school of everything is not content. The Bow Wow thing, I told you, that was, I don't think that should have been shared. Yep. I don't believe in, that's why I get shit from the chat and the internet. My whole timeline is flooded right now because people are upset but everything isn't content. I don't give a fuck how you feel. Everything is not content. Had a conversation with Rob Markman. Everything ain't content. He talked about it on his channel when you and him had your thing. He said, we talked about it off camera, behind the scenes. It's all good or whatever. Because everything's not fucking content. Yeah. That's number 1 gripe, B.Dot. Number 2 gripe, this is separate from y'all situation. B.Dot's just not honest. He's just not an honest person when it comes to his critique of certain things. He has a bias, like I have a bias, and he's unwilling to admit his biases. Elliott Wilson has bias sometimes, he'll admit to it. Jeremy Heck has bias sometimes, he'll admit to it. Joe Budden has bias sometimes, he'll admit to it. Maul and fucking Rory have biases sometimes, they admit to it. Yeah. They fuck up, they be like, oh, you know what, you was right, woo-woo. I have yet to see B.Dot ever say, hey, you know what? I fucked up on that list. Never seen it. The list is the list, is what he says. That's cap to me. But going back to y'all, I just wanted to point out the 2 gripes because that way it doesn't seem like, oh, Head is being fake. No, I've shared this with B.Dot on camera and off camera. Also, I come from the school of anything that I'm going to do or say to about somebody, you do or say to that person. So I'm not. That's why I always tell you, like, bro, stop doing what you be doing. You be going on saying stuff, and then when you run into person, you be like, yeah, my bad. Well, just don't say it. Now, everybody not perfect. I'm not charging with that, but the reason the disappointment comes from you and B-Dot specifically is because at one point you both were the leaders of what it is that we do, into some capacity, whether it be blog space, the blog era. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa. We'll get to that. The blog space, and then transitioning into quote unquote the podcast era or whatever, y'all were the leaders of that because of the high profile. Well, actually, you kind of did it with Crown too, but y'all are the leaders of that. And then to see like how this is kind of like playing out, it's like, I don't like it. I don't like it because we don't get a lot of fixtures. Lil Durk, Puff. You can go down the list. You know what I'm saying? We don't get a lot of Suge Knight. We don't get a lot of fixtures. And so when our fixtures cannibalize internally, to me, that's a detriment culturally. It don't really have nothing to do with like the white people or, you know, or yeah. That's good that you can communicate non-verbally now. Yeah, my nigga.
You taught him 45 minutes. 45 minutes in.
But like, we got enough of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, there are certain people that I don't fuck with. I don't fuck with certain black people, white people. I don't fuck with a lot of niggas. But I'm not publicly doing that because there's no need to do it, because the opposing forces are going to do that anyway. They're going to look at these hip-hop niggas. That's why we're not allowed nowhere. That's why when I go, I ain't going to say the restaurant. When I go to Atlanta, there's one restaurant I don't fuck with because they don't let me wear my hat. Why? Because niggas prior to me have ruined that experience. You know what I'm saying? There's no deals, there's no money, there's no this, there's no opportunity. Not because, oh, this is that, or because the corporations are hating, or they're not. You are able-bodied. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with B-Dot that I know of. You build it. You go fucking build it. You get off the camera and you go fucking build it. Now, as far as y'all being friends, that's neither here nor there. I don't govern niggas' friendships.
The friendship governor is kind of crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm holding you accountable because I have a personal story. That's why I called the homie to
Don't laugh, producer Alex.
What was funny? What?
I don't know. The homie called. The homie called.
I had to call because, again, I don't violate the sanctity of my relationships for content. I just don't do it. So, we all saw the pop out. I mean, who didn't see the pop out? There was an artist on stage who I wasn't cool with at all on my set. You would never know that. This has never been shared, right? Have you ever heard of this? No. There's been no rumblings. There's been no innuendos. There's been nothing. But there was somebody who I was not cool with at all on my set. He closed my set. His name is Jason Martin. His name is Problem. We weren't cool at all.
Really?
Going into the pop-out. At all.
Wow.
I would actually imagine you guys to be good friends based on the conversation.
We were.
Since.
What happened was I was at the radio station. I was at iHeart. I called him one night and I'm like, hey, bro, I want to play this record on the radio. Send me the clean version. He starts getting like, what you mean you got it? I said, I don't have it. Why the fuck would I call you if I have the clean version? You know what I'm saying? Like, send me the clean record. He's like, nah, see, this that bullshit. Like, you always playing, you always I'm like, bro, what is the problem? Send me the clean. Like, I ain't gonna say his name, but the homie he had doing his stuff, he said he sent it to you already. I'm like, he didn't send it to me. Send me the clean. He's like,
I'm asking you right now.
Yeah. So I'm like, he's like, well, you should be able to just play it and clean it. Or I'm like, bro, I'm not cleaning your record to play your record on the radio. I have a stern, distinct disdain for that. DJs across the world. This is my own personal thing. I'm not encouraging you to adopt this behavior, but I'm either going to play it or I'm going to buy it. I'm not doing both.
Yeah, Peter Rosenberg talks about that a lot.
I'm either going to support. I'm going to play your record or I'm going to buy it. I'm not doing both.
Peter Rosenberg will do the underground and clean the records up and then complain about it. He'll make the edits.
I'm not making no edits. Bootleg Kev does it.
Yeah.
I'm not making no fucking clean edit to spin your record on the radio. I got
that I won't do.
I got a lot of shit going on. Kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, long story short,
hey, what?
we going back and forth. Now,
so it turned into a problem.
It turned into a problem.
Just asking for the record.
So what happened was,
I didn't even intend that. That's great.
So what ended up happening is he basically was like, see, y'all always politicking, and then I don't know what he was going through at the time. Yeah. But it just became something else. It became something else. So I'm like, well, fuck it then. So then he was like, all right, well, he said, you know what, Head, moving forward, I don't need this. I remember this verbatim. He said, I don't need you or your platform.
Woo.
I said, bet. let's be friends. Let's not do no music business ever again.
Wow.
So that I stood on that for about 4 years, 3, 4 years. 3 years, 3 or 4 years, I stood on that. Anytime he would drop a record, that's music business. I would see him in places, the homie back. I would go to the Smokehouse. We have a party in the backyard. See him, it's all good.
Just a dap up.
Yeah,
in the walk.
we good. We
Yeah.
hanging out.
You
chopping
keep
it
it
up.
friendly, but you don't want to do the business
Let's
shit.
be friends.
Yeah, okay.
Because we're almost 20 years in at this point.
Yeah.
Let's be friends. Let's not do no music business.
Okay.
So
you're honoring that. You're honoring
I'm
that.
standing on what you told me.
Yeah.
Right? So
But up until the pop out, you was honoring that as you saw
up
each
until
other.
the pop out.
Yeah.
So what happened was, not even up until the pop out, we did the rehearsals and we did the pop out with me having this tremendous grudge. But
Wait, so when did you first learn that you get the PG Lang itinerary? Like, oh, this nigga's headlining. Like, when did you first get the
again, going back, if you watch previous episodes of The Bigger Picture or Effective Immediately, I'm Derek Fisher. I have a role to play. It's not about me. I'm not here to hit the game winning 3. I'm here to play my position. So if I'm working with P, I'm working with P. P actually, me and him work together on putting the set together. Hey, you know what, boy? He should go after him. I was like, yeah, I agree. We talking because this not about us.
Yeah.
He knows what my energy is. We do the pop out. You see him. He come out. We dap up. He go do like what? It's a movie.
Great performance.
And you didn't need the clean version that day.
No. You would never know that this was a thing,
Feeling
right?
good,
This is the
Jeremy.
first time the world has ever heard this. Outside of me, Problem, and like Salas, my manager, right? No one's ever heard this story. I'm sharing it for a reason.
I think also that I was at the show. That was the first. Like, we're saying wrestling, the big pop. I felt his one was the first big pop of the night.
I agree.
When Problem came out. Jason
So
Martin.
moving forward, after the pop out, I'm like, I feel like a hypocrite, and that's not how Jackie raised me. I feel like a hypocrite because I'm like, I did all of this and I'm still holding on to this. So I call him. I'm like, hey, look, bro.
After the pop out?
This is weeks after the pop out, maybe like 2 weeks after the pop out. I'm like, hey, because I had to sit on it, I had to marinate.
Yeah.
So I call him like, hey, bro, look, I've been holding on to this for like 4 years, something like that. I don't remember how the length of time it was, but like, I'm not on that. Like, I think we need to move forward. I need to let that shit go, et cetera, et cetera. We had a nice long conversation. He apologized. I said, you know, my bad for like, but he was like, I guess what I had to give him was clarification. I said, look, I asked a bunch of street niggas to put aside any of the extra shit for 1 week. Hey, give me 1 week, bro. There's, like I said, there's footage of this. I don't know if Dave is ever gonna put it out or not, but I put everybody in a huddle and I said, look, I don't give a fuck where y'all niggas is from. We from LA this week. I have a job to do, and if you don't want to be a part of this moment, you are welcome to leave. But now is the time. I need to know that whatever y'all got,
you got to commit right now. Yeah.
whatever y'all got, homies, brothers, street shit, who done shot at, it doesn't matter this week. If y'all can give me that, we're gonna make history. Other than that, I don't have no. So what I was telling P was, I asked street niggas to put aside their differences. There's been fights and loss of life and all kind of shit, right? We doing fucking music.
Yeah.
This ain't that. So we end up reconciling, and then he came on effective immediately, and then we did the show after the pop out. We never talked. He never talked about this publicly. I never talked about it publicly because everything ain't fucking content. The reason why I'm sharing now, and I called him to get his blessing to talk about this, is because y'all are in the same situation. There's been no shootouts, no fights, well, y'all from New York, no stabbings, no $150s.
That's a big thing out where I'm from.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, this is not beyond reproach.
I don't think it is.
No, I'm not. That's not my point. My point is, this is fucking journalism. It's not like this ain't that. You know what I mean? Same reason why people be mad I don't get bent out of shape over act. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. I be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen these people in public. There's been people in the radio game who's talked shit about me, right? I every studio I go, I was in the studio last night with some of the homies, just some real ones. And I asked them the same question. Have you ever seen any of these individuals that you like? Have you ever seen this person in person that you vibe for their attention and for their esteem? Like, no, exactly. It's not real. Yeah. So y'all don't have a real issue, which is why I'm disappointed in the way that this is playing out. Because this is being played out in the public like it's 50 and Ja Rule, where it's real shit. This ain't no fucking real shit. That's my opinion. Sorry, it's long-winded.
What's your opinion, Jeremy?
Well, No. I didn't mean a big sigh. I was just trying to think of there was like a lot of directions. I mean, I was disappointed.
Why did you receive all this?
I had a lot of people texting me the link in the morning, and I woke up. I was like, a lot's going on. But
this whole episode's about us, right?
You know what?
Fuck us.
As a fan, though, it wasn't that long ago. I was just watching from my room on screens. I like to know the inner workings of this stuff, so I think there's a lot of people who do want to watch this. But I grew up watching you guys do the best interviews ever. So as a fan of you guys, when it stopped, I didn't necessarily think it wasn't coming back. You know, I didn't think too much of it, but, you know, knowing you, I'd hoped that it would come back. I met you guys together first on a red carpet. It was you and B.Dot walking the red carpet together. So just the history that you guys have had together and the inspiration that you guys have created for young journalists and me growing up, I'm like, as a fan, I would hope to have it back. But seeing how this played out, I guess one of my thoughts was kind of what Head was saying is, I wish you guys would have had this conversation prior to it being on a podcast. Like, we're still kind of talking around it, and then it's you guys in the middle not having spoken. If B.Dot had called you before that, I think it would have been a different situation, or had you guys spoken before that rather than Joe calling you on air and you guys kind of talking about it in the moment. So I think there was part of that, but I personally don't think that it was there's nothing beyond reproach. Like, no one said anything badly. I would love for you guys to, sit down and speak about it. I think maybe he's waiting for you to reach out for whatever reason, but now you know that, because clearly it seems like he wasn't going to reach out. So, now I think you guys have spoken about it. You'll be able to say your side. You guys could probably do this in a way where maybe you do build your own platform up, or maybe there is somebody who's watching all this stuff and be like, I want to invest, and it is an expensive thing because, you guys are getting guests, you're getting venues.
The way we did it was expensive.
But I think the other thing that I was actually more curious about is, because when Joe was talking to you guys in that interview, it seemed like what he was kind of saying was, Rap Radar is amazing, you guys do the best interviews, but it's guest reliant, right? You have to have a guest in order for that show to work as it was working. Did you think after that, okay, maybe there's a show we could do together where it's not as guest reliant, or like, is there a way for Rap Radar to have been more of Elliott and B.Dot, and then you have guests in,
it's funny,
between?
when we first did the podcast in the very beginning, like 2015, 2016, we would do like a whole, like, more kind of radio where, like, we did an opening segment of like 20 minutes to 30 minutes where we kind of talked about what's going on in debate. And then we got into the interview and did the interview. And the feedback out the gate was like, yo, shut the fuck up. The interviews are amazing. So then it just became more of an interview show. So it evolved that way. But I know what Joe's saying. Like, we could do even though I'm in the West Coast, East Coast, we could do a nightcap type of thing, like, if we wanted to. But I think the problem with me and B.Dot is that we're also very, like, confident Queens guys that believe that we're used to making money doing this. So we're used to having partners and being funded doing this. So I think we never had a whole vision of, like, well, if it doesn't happen independently, we're going to tighten up and keep doing it, which is what Rory and Wale did, which is what, Joe Budden did after Spotify fell out. So that's the difference. One last thing. What do you guys think when people say, or even if they're even playfully jousting about, Elliott went to the West Coast, he's with Jeremy and DJ Head now, he's all about his new show.
He's riding off into the sunset.
Like, how do you receive that? And I feel like sometimes I catch some of what you say, Head, about like the lack of understanding of the West Coast, or how even, again, this Kendrick battle and everything that reflective, like me, same Dot era and championing this and living in the West Coast and being with you guys. I feel like all of that plays a part. Am I bugging? Of how people perceive.
You're not bugging, but
what I'm doing.
The difference is, it's still just you. It's still the way you choose to move, though.
Yeah.
The onus is still on you.
Well,
B.Dot B.Dot comes across as someone that still has maintained journalistic integrity the whole time. You have not. So he's put himself in a position where he gets to ride the high horse, regardless of what he does behind the scenes. He gets to ride the high horse in the situation. Saying Joe has never been that. Joe he gonna talk about whatever. He fuck everybody. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't necessarily have any allegiances to anything or anybody but himself and his,
or has any standard to uphold in
his entity. So he's completely separate from what you and B.Dot do. You specifically, yes, that plays a role in it, but I think you perpetuate the role to its extreme because of how you move.
But you still doing a show with somebody who doesn't have any journalistic integrity. But you must
I
be
am.
something.
No, you don't. It's not that you don't have any. I think you still have some.
But it's been damaged. There's been some
It's
moves
100%
that you even question or don't agree with that I've made. Obviously,
Yeah, for sure. There's hella stuff, but I'm just saying, like, I think those things. People actually don't give a fuck about what show you do and who you do it with.
Mhm.
It's what you do and say around the show and how you move that people look at. Because this what you. I don't know. So I have a problem with and that's why I want to take ownership before I charge you. I have an issue with understanding who I am and what I mean to people, right?
Mhm.
And so there's never mind. But there is a legendary artist who my big homies had a problem with back in the day. And I remember going to that person and my homies was telling him like, hey, bro, you are so-and-so. Like this, you mean a lot to us. And he like, bro, I'm just one guy. And it's like, no, you are the guy.
Mhm.
So you not fucking with us. You not acknowledging us. You shitting on us. It means something. Like
it impacts.
It impacts. I have the same issue with self-actualization where I don't realize like, bro, when you say something, people mean, like when I talk about books or certain artists on this show or whatever, people actually go fucking buy the books. And like, I'm like, oh, like I didn't know.
Yeah.
You have the same issue, whereas you don't understand that I've had countless conversations with artists, producers, managers, all kind of people. Literally last week, somebody asked me, man, how do you do the show with this guy? And I'm just like, what you mean? I don't give a fuck. Like, what you talking about? And they're like, yeah, like, I don't understand. I'm like, bro, I don't absorb that. Like, I'm really good at the energetic thing, but I'm just saying, people look at you a certain way because of the accomplishments that you have garnered over the years. It's like, if you look at Ye, you can have an objective opinion from what Ye has done to his legacy. Look at yourself the same way. Not in the same.
I was gonna say,
I get it.
So when people look at you as this, man, Elliott was the first one. Elliott was doing the mics. Elliott gave one of my favorite rappers, 4.5 mics. Elliott wrote the columns. Elliott is when he was the EP. Elliott interviewed Drake. He interviewed Tyler. He you did the Crown series with fucking Drake. You did the Crown, like you had Nicki, like, so people are looking at you like, oh my God. And then you like, well, I'm finna play this Bow Wow shit. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, people are gonna look at you like, man, what the fuck? Like, it's like you told me Santa Claus wasn't real. That's what it's like.
Yeah,
he is not.
Y'all don't even fuck with Santa Claus.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do y'all fuck with Santa Claus?
No.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
And he just realized my only focus is making Jeremy Heck a star. That's all I care about.
Okay,
I'll take that. No, so.
Nah, I hear you, Head. I hear what you're saying.
This is kind of on the same topic because you brought it up as well, and
then we'll get to some rappers.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
us.
it's a little bit of a transition. But
what's Wiz Khalifa doing right now?
Well, I wanted to
doing
know
another
how
interview.
You guys,
this motherfucker doing too many interviews. Stop it, Wiz.
Shout out to Wiz.
Wiz talks to everybody.
But no, we were talking about how you deal with when you have like a fragile op in public, and I thought it was hilarious because like when Joe, speaking of Joe, like 50 Cent is sitting in front of Joe at the Nick game, and it's like you clearly have to acknowledge each other to some degree. I'm sure they joked around about it, but how do you guys acknowledge your fragile ops in public?
There's a person that I've seen numerous times that has been very inflammatory towards me, and when you see him in person, it's just like the Elliott Wilson effect or the Elliott Wilson experience. It's just like it's nothing. There's nothing.
They lead with love.
Yeah, it's just like, bro. So it's not. That's why I'm saying this shit is.
Champion. Austin 316.
This shit is WWE, bro.
Real ill 316, baby. Champion.
This shit is WWE. This shit ain't real. You know what I'm saying? It ain't, which is why I think nothing is beyond repair, reproach, or acknowledgement. Like, it's not real. Nobody actually has an issue.
Yeah, most times it's just tension. Or could be, worst case, it could be tension. The funniest times back in the day, I remember you be at a club somewhere, it's like, you don't fuck with this person, but you're actually there's so many people in the damn club, you couldn't even get to each other if you wanted to. So
no, you can get to them.
I mean, if you
really had a problem.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something.
You really had a problem.
Do you know? Never mind. That's some tangent, but that shit's stupid. all this internet shit is stupid. How you deal with a fragile op? There's no such thing as a fragile
But
op.
but it's funny too. Like I remember seeing rappers. I remember it might have been 50 and somebody like on a plane or something. Like it's funny, but where you could have run into somebody that you have conflict with, where it's kind of more of a safe place, right? Like an airport, for example.
Yeah.
They always said that's a federal crime. Don't act up. You ain't fighting no motherfucking
That's not
aircraft.
true.
No, I guess there's exceptions, but I'm saying by rule, usually.
Bro,
You're more cautious.
That's what I'm trying to. I've been trying.
right.
Okay, what week are we on, Jeremy Hank?
45.
For 44 weeks, I have been trying to explain culture to people. Where I'm from, none of that matters.
Yeah.
That's why I don't crash out and give a fuck what people saying and the 40 people that tweeted you about. Don't give a fuck, bro. Because where I'm from, ain't no amount of people in no club, ain't no TSA, ain't no U.S. Marshal.
Ain't no Nick game. Right there at the garden. Do it right in front of there in the garden.
They're not going to stop you from where my homies, bro, what? Bro, that's not a thing. Security cameras, cops, like the people that I know that I came up watching and looking at and under and shit like that, it didn't matter about none of that. I had a big homie tell me that they were beefing with the police. I didn't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah,
we added with the cops right now. We added with the cops? What the fuck does that mean?
What precinct is this?
That's a crazy
What
beef.
precinct is this?
We added with the police, bro? Like, bro, and so anyway.
No, you're right though. But I think we don't look at it that way. But you said it's there's different levels of ramifications.
So when people
most times it isn't though. You would think
when
right?
people say when they use this is what Glass's point. We can talk about that too if you want. This is the Glass's point. When you confuse rap and hip hop with street urban culture. I mean, when street urban culture is hip hop, but when you conflate rap with street urban culture, and you're like, yeah, that's the lingo. Like, oh, we sliding. Like he was like, yeah, I'll slide with you. But do you know what that means?
No, in real life, that's a very serious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It gets overused. It gets that's a great point.
So everything is desensitized because it's just cool and it's lingo and stuff like that. My issue is that the people that I know in the communities that I talk to, the young homies and stuff like that, that's really the life that they live in. And to me, it's just not to be played with. Like, that's why you never hear. I'm not gonna threaten anybody. I'm not finna get on here and say it's up. I'm not even finna respond to most people because it's not the same thing. Like you niggas are making content. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you understand the severity of these things. Like, anyway, my point being is just that it's not the same thing. Like, if you see it, 50 seeing Joe Budden at the Knicks game, bro, 50's like, bro.
Yeah, no, it's not real. That's why I mean, like in more of like I say this because even like recently a few times this has happened where if somebody has either said something disparaging about me or somebody has done something that I don't agree with, like my way of dealing with it is if I see you, I'm going to deal with it right away. Like, hey, you said this, or hey, this happened. Why did you do that? Why did this happen? Let's deal with it. There's no real issue, but I'd rather just deal with it and then we can move on.
I'm going to go one better. I was taught that you don't even wait till you see him. You go to the problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I've been conditioned. It's like, because other than that, somebody catch you at the mall with your kid in your chart class.
And you didn't know, call him before you're saying.
No. Like, if I have an issue with Elliott Wilson, I'm not finna wait till like, I'm gonna see Elliott Wilson at an award show or, whatever the case may be. No, I'm gonna fly to California to go see Elliott Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right away, yeah.
That's how
approach it head on.
Yeah. You go to the issue. You don't wait for the issue to come to you. That's how I've been conditioned.
I've never had an issue.
So go back to this point. When you see Joe Budden 50 Cent, you don't think an altercation is going to happen?
Absolutely not.
Now, why do you not think that when you're just watching as a because it's not rooted in that culture?
It's not rooted in that. It go different if it's a Murder Inc. type of situation. I don't know if that's the same energy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the same energy if it's Rick Ross.
Mm-hmm.
I think 50 is.
So the garden doesn't matter. All the lights, the cameras, the
we saw the malice at the
There's
palace.
no safe zone with the right people. It gets cracking. It don't matter where we at.
It don't matter.
The garden, airports.
They don't TSA, airport. It don't matter. If it's like that.
It's on site. It's on site.
That's where I come from.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this. I don't know. Like this to me is just like 50 trolling. Like he gonna, It's not.
He did.
Now,
And he did it in real
he
time.
did
He
troll,
did this
yeah.
in real time. He's like, Joe said, I ain't got no problem. Enjoy the game.
But if it was an issue, I think 50 would have handled it right then and there at the Knicks game.
Joe did leave early, even though he always leaves early, but he did leave early. I was like, they're not going to be doing no high fives and shit when the Knicks score. They ain't going to be doing all that.
No.
Because I remember being on tour and an issue came. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, hey, so-and-so going to be in the city. We going to go to the show. You know what I mean? Like, if you look back when Trick did the no-fly zone in Detroit, right? These things are real things that people just don't, you don't hear, because most of the shit that ain't content, you don't even hear about.
It was pre-content era. Right
Yeah.
there.
There's actually an artist, that got put on a plane at LAX.
Got put on a plane. He didn't have it. He wasn't like he didn't, like he didn't have a ticket to go to the place initially.
He had a ticket real quick.
And then they said, you know, you're coming with us on this plane. And he went somewhere.
No. It was more like
he was sent back.
You get off the plane, you get your belongings. It's like, no. Get back on the plane.
Oh, go back on the plane.
Yeah. But you
like
don't hear about
like not getting into Canada. Can't get in there.
Oh,
send you back home.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, it's in your best interest to go ahead to that ticket counter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you don't know about these things because it's not because it's
the realest episode of The Bigger Picture ever today.
Honestly, though.
I'm
real
just saying,
shit
bro.
today.
Like, this shit ain't
Real shit
it's not
today.
the same thing. Like, this 50 playing with this dude.
But on another note, I thought when you asked us about, like, you know, running into conflicts and old stories, I wanted to ask you, Jeremy, being like, take it back even about giving your opinion, just being a writer, right? And writing our thoughts, like, I don't like this record or whatever. I said, but what would happen to me that's always like not funny, but like the interesting thing is like you'll run into somebody, you ain't seen them, whatever, and they have a problem with you, and then it's because you wrote something
that you probably forgot about.
You forgot about. And it's like they on 10 and they're breaking this down to you, and they think you trying to like act like you don't know the shit, but you genuinely don't know. Like I wrote a lot of bad reviews. Like, what did I do? And I'm trying to understand through your anger at me, what the fuck is the problem? What is the issue? And then, you know, those are awkward moments to me. That's why I think about it. And then you may end up having that conversation, but you got to be I always thought as a journalist part, even before becoming the opinionated content world, just being a journalist and writing your opinion about something and telling your honesty, you have to be accountable to everything that you wrote. If you run into these people, you got to be accountable.
Glasses told me, he told me in 2006, because I used to joke. I was a jokester. He sat me down and he said, look, head, everybody ain't playing. That was it. That's all I needed.
But Jeremy, you've had any of those moments where somebody's like irritated by something you wrote or what you said?
Yeah, a few times. Actually, the majority of times it would happen like if me and Elise were on a carpet or something like that, it would be the secondary effect of a writer that I did not tell to write something.
Oh, Hip Hop DX.
But based on Hip Hop DX. Like for Jid was a great example. A writer wrote a really bad review of his last album, which I loved. You've heard me praise Jid all the time. And so Jid was walking down the carpet and he was
Rocks DX mic.
Well, he was so excited at first. Elise had talked to the publicist. Like, he's coming over like about. I think he daps me up, and then he sees my mic flag at Hip Hop DX, and he's like, "Oh no, I ain't doing the interview." And we had to like smooth it over, be like, I'm like, that's not like the things that I wrote, right? I'm asking you about the music. I promise it's no gossip. Like, and you know, we smoothed it over to the point where we did a great interview. Like, we got a clip up that was good, but I'm dealing with the after effects of that. And it happened with MGK too. MGK, I'm at a carpet and I'm, you know, I'd interviewed him initially at a carpet, one of my first ever carpets. And I knew that he had ordered a Quiznos sub when he first got his deal. And so he wasn't doing the interview, he wasn't interested, he was walking away. And I was like, MGK, when you got that Quiznos sub when you first got your deal with Diddy? And he's like, wait, you knew that? Okay, I fuck with you. And he like came over. So then I saw him again and I was trying to bring that up to like warm I was like, when I did the interview last time with you, I talked about the Quiznos sub. He's like, oh yeah, that was you. And then he saw that it was Hip Hop DX and he's like, bro, you guys, you know, you trash me. I'm like, that's not me. Like, and he was really like upset about it in that moment because of things that I didn't say. So I've dealt with other people's consequences. I've dealt with things that I say, but I also, to your point earlier, what I try to do now is recognize the weight of, even though, you know, I might not be on your guys' level of opinion or voice, I realize that if I say something positive about somebody on the show or I shout out a record or an artist, like that could be life-changing for them. And it's happened a few times, even on our Spotlight segment. I take that seriously. So I try to realize the weight of the word, I think, right now.
Accountability.
Realize the weight of your word, Elliott Wilson.
Accountability, man.
Any final thoughts before we close this whole media segment loop? Are you guys going to get on the phone soon? Are you going to hit him up after the show?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Whatever you want.
Are you gonna call? Are you going to initiate a phone call to Brian B.Dot Miller, Elliott Wilson?
That's what you think I should do?
Listen to the question.
Yes.
Are you going to initiate a verbal phone call to Brian B.Dot Miller in the near future within the next 6 Earth days? Yes or no?
I can do that if that's what you'd like me to do or think I should do.
Yes or no?
I can do that. Yes.
Thank you.
You would like me to do that? Why would you like me to do that?
Why not?
Because I have no problem with him, like you said. I don't have a Rap Radar podcast deal. I'm not hiding one. I don't have one right now.
It doesn't matter about that.
Okay. Okay. Just have a conversation.
I told y'all in previous episode of The Bigger Picture that a lesson that was taught to me, actually funny enough, is it was about problem. When I told y'all that story about Glasses telling me everybody don't know how to express themselves. I don't know if y'all remember that, but I said that on the episode. I was like, he was like, look, cuz everybody just don't know how to say, like, hey man, I feel left out.
Emotional intelligence.
They don't have the emotional.
Well, it's like you and problem. I think a male, they call it friendship, but a male dynamic can get tough with that type of situation.
I understand that,
So,
but it also takes someone of sound mind and able body to be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just call and see what's up.
So your view of this situation, to me, recapping now, I understand more clearly, is that you first hold me at fault for not communicating with B.Dot, that we're in this position, and you don't like that B.Dot went on the platform and air things out publicly.
Correct.
So we're
Versus
both wrong in that way.
Correct.
Elliott should have handled that by having a good rapport with B.Dot that would never have happened.
Because
He stopped talking to him,
at the end of the day,
and that wasn't cool. And then now it's not cool that B.Dot went on the platform and everything's out publicly.
Correct.
But both things are wrong.
But
Right? Is that what you're saying?
the problem is you are the big homie. With that comes responsibility.
Mhm.
For me, I could have waited for Lefty Gunplay to reach out to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm fucking DJ Head. He
Mhm.
just got home. I could be like, yeah, I'm the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, I DM him. Hey, bro. Or I call. Hey, bro, what's up? Hey, let's get I want to put you with problem. Like, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are the person that is you're supposed to be the leader, you're supposed to lead by example, you're supposed to be the big homie, that is your responsibility. Again, I said on previous episode of The Bigger Picture, we don't have enough big homies.
Mhm.
Because then you get all of these people that just do wild shit. I told Charla and I told Van and maybe one other person.
Stop hating on Elliott.
No. I didn't tell
We
him
made
that.
a group chat. It was called the Stop the Elliott Hate Train.
At least for Sunday. Back on Monday, we can start hating this nigga.
I didn't tell him that. I told him that certain personalities that lead the space is their fault.
Their fault first, yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
You included.
I get it.
Because you are emboldening these people to feel like they are the ones. The same way you might probably in a similar way, but the same way you might embrace Jeremy Heck, you've embraced these other individuals who don't necessarily hold the culture to the highest esteem.
Mm.
So you
responsibility with our power and influence of what we do.
Look
at it that way.
So I'm gonna ask the question again. Elliott Wilson, you said that Brian B.Dot Miller was the young intern coming in. You were 10 years removed or above, whatever the case may be. You said that you put him on because you saw something. You said that y'all ran into each other and you was like, oh, this is perfect timing. Then you brought him on, you hired him. You hired him for a reason. You said that he was outspoken. You said that he was the guy to stand up in the room and stand on his opinion. That was impressive to you.
Yep.
Then you said y'all started a legacy, Rap Radar, the blog, whatever the case may be. Then it was his idea to start Rap Radar podcast.
Absolutely.
And then Rap Radar would you consider to be a legendary brand?
Influential, yeah.
Okay, boom. You're the big homie. Elliott Wilson, within the next 6 Earth days, do you plan to verbally call Brian B.Dot Miller?
I will call him on Monday. And I'll be here Thursday. And I promise everybody, like DJ Head, I'm delivering.
It's going to be a great week in hip hop next week.
It's going to be a great week in hip hop when I call B.Dot Monday.
Now, this is your testament.
I'm going to call B.Dot before the next episode.
Now, this is your testament publicly. Will you keep the conversation private?
Yes, of course.
All right.
Yes, I should, right?
Yes, you should. Move on, Jeremy here.
All right. I like that. I'm excited. I'm excited.
You flipped
know what?
this on me, man. You was in trouble. Now you're like the justice man. Like
I'm not. I'm just being honest.
Bring your belt back, man. You're a champion, man. Bring your belt back.
You know what's funny is we're talking about the power of words. DJ Head's got the belt.
No, can we DJ Head? I lead into that, man. Don't charge me, DJ Head. That might have been therapy for me, man. I have to pay you, invoice you.
No, that one's free.
Thank you.
You're talking about the power of words. There's 2 words that continue to ring off. Can you guess them?
Suck it.
No. That's a good 2
Even
words.
though, do we have the DJ Head thing with DJ Head acknowledges the phrase I coined? That's what I
Yes,
normally.
those 2 words.
Can you pull that DJ Head?
Those are
tweet
the
out? Do you
2
have
words.
that?
Oh my
Dot
God.
era.
Can
yeah.
you pull it up?
Yeah. So
Look at this. Come on, DJ Head. Look at my guy, DJ Head.
give us a dramatic reading.
How you start with OMG? OMG.
Oh my God.
Ken. He's calling this nigga Ken. Ken is running the league. He's leading the league in assists. He's getting endorsements. He's already won a chip, but still in the playoffs somehow. He's got the streets. He's not a star. Crying emoji. You mad? Dot era.
We are in the dot era still.
How's it feel? Sipping our Gatorade,
Wearing
putting our
Chanel
Chanel
glasses.
on.
Damn.
Chanel glasses, guzzling Gatorade.
Why do you have to guzzle it?
52 songs on tour. Not like us every night. Every night on the set list. They thought it was going to be on the set list? Y'all thought it was going to be on the set list? Psst. You heard that?
Does this ring off any bells? Do you remember
Ooh.
Drop?
Drop.
When is May 4th? When is it actually? Is it next episode? Next episode, we doing an official 1-year anniversary tribute stuff?
It will be next weekend. So technically, probably next week would be the 1
That's
year
when all hell
anniversary.
broke loose.
Yep.
I saw some amazing footage online. I'm
I did
excited.
too.
I'm excited to see.
Saw
the
a lot
tour.
of humans there.
No, it was the
sold out Minneapolis.
the highest generating rap stadium tour one night ever, I believe.
I'm aware.
And it was 9 million generated from one
in
show.
Minnesota.
He is in a very short list of rappers to even co-headline stadium tours because Jay and Beyonce were doing it. Jay and M did it. Kendrick did it. I think 50 Cent was on that list, but
I'm
it's
aware.
a very small list.
You're quite aware.
I'm aware.
Very small
And always
list.
like, big tours, they'll do it like off market, like a Seattle or Minneapolis. It feels like, okay, we're just warming things up, trying to figure out how the show's gonna be. You do these other, you don't start in the big, but it felt like this is like we're ready to go out the gate and it's sold out. And
Tiramisu
Man.
was on the set list.
I know I thought about that.
You said keep hope.
Okay, here's the theory on this. Maybe that record's not done yet. Maybe he has that part and he's still got to fix the record. Like it's not fully done. Maybe that's just the version of the record exists now. The version isn't fully done as a record.
Can I just spew a conspiracy theory using my platform responsibly?
Let's do it.
Absol tweeted
my
something. Absol tweeted,
Sit down, Hecht.
"The gods are back. Be afraid, little bitch."
Damn.
And then DJ Head
Aggression. That's that
tweeted
Carson
something,
aggression.
and he said, "I emoji." And then,
OMG.
so I actually replied, I said, "What are we doing here, guys? Is the
White man
What are we
coming in.
doing here, guys?
White man coming in.
is the Black Hippie reunion?
It's Jeremy from accounting.
Is something dropping a new song? Is somebody dropping, or is this simply a reference
These
to the Pope
invoices
passing?
do not add up.
Is this just Jesus resurrecting after Easter? We need explanations. Now, I've been sitting on trying to come up with an explanation, and here's one. I'm willing. Were you were
H.
baptizing some quick water?
That was
I'm-
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold style.
Stone Cold. Okay, I need to get up on my wrestling references. I have a theory. So, what if the song is finished, but what if that's the entirety of Kendrick's part?
Oh, that's the Black Hippie track.
And what if
the bodies.
the tiramisu
Oh, the
really does
bodies.
have layers, and there are multiple bodies on this
Ooh,
song,
layers.
and that we
See what he
have
did
a
there?
Kendrick verse, and then we
As he
have
yawns. There we go.
Black
see?
Hippie on that song? Could that be possible? Is there a possibility of that?
Wow.
Anything possible.
Anything is possible. What made you eye emoji this tweet? Is it something you have seen, you know about? Is it?
Soul has some shit up his sleeve.
Is this related to the thing we talked about at the beginning of the episode?
May or may not be.
Here we go again.
Okay.
Cryptic Carson, guys.
That would make sense later on. What I did
Yeah,
want
we'll come back to that.
yeah, that'll
We'll
on
get back to
a
this.
new episode of The Bigger
We'll
Picture.
get back to that
on
on the record.
a forthcoming episode of The Bigger Picture.
You guys want to know something crazy? Kendrick, every endorsement deal he does, he is referred to in lyrics. He said, on Not Like Us, ain't no law boy, you ball boy, fetch Gatorade or something.
Woo.
Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping. And now someone's fetching Gatorade for him to put the little orange sweat on him for his commercial.
Orange sweat.
You know what's crazy is on N95 on Mr. Morale, he said,
taking it back. Oh, you like dissecting shit. Look
he
at
said, take off the gossip, take off the new logic, that if I'm rich, take it off. Take off the Chanel, take off the Dolce, take off the Birkin bag. I think he's the only person to ever say take off a brand and then that brand goes to him and say, put it back on. Here you go. Here's the money to put it back on. Here you go.
That was the negotiation.
That was, yeah, exactly.
It's been going on for a while.
Did you were you aware of these deals or were you surprised at all? And how do you feel about Kendrick? Dot era.
Ken. That's Ken.
More.
He calls him Ken.
That's Ken. Yeah,
that's his guy Ken.
Look at him. All cool with the.
We don't call him Ken. I did that to piss off the bots.
So when they do the search of Kendrick, they can't find it. It's like, no, that's Ken.
I mean, we call him Dot, but I just did that to piss people off.
He's here. He was leading most nominated artist at the AMAs.
Yeah.
Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Collaboration of the Year, Favorite Music Video of the Year, Favorite Male Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Favorite Hip Hop Album of the Year, Favorite Hip Hop Song of the Year. 3 nominations.
What is there to debate?
A discussion, not a debate.
That is good. What we can debate is what Glasses said on shout out to Culture United, Justin Hun and the great people over there. They were debating Rob Markman, Wayno was on there, Curtis King, a few other great names that I can't remember off top. But Glasses made a point where he was basically saying kind of what we've been discussing about should rage rap be clarified at all as hip hop? And Glasses' point was basically that, and we'll play the clip, but he basically said these guys are telling you what they are. They're saying they're rock stars. They're saying that this sound is completely different. They're calling it rage. We actually are the ones trying to bring them into hip hop because we want to claim it to some degree and we want to talk about it, but they're not hip hop. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on this.
Over here for the sake of the conversation, but like Reed was saying, like I'm looking at Glow. This don't feel like it. This feels like I'm listening to like a much hipper version of U2 or Metallica.
Damn ads. It's okay. Well, we're supporting a good cause. We're giving the company that some ad watch.
Who you referring to is saying that you
Playboy, Travis. It's like I'm hearing something different. Like I hear something, the culture, and I hear something completely different. Even when I listen to him, this song, I'm like, damn, I agree with you. When I heard Magnolia, I was like, oh yeah, this nigga tough. I like this song. This motherfucker hip hop. But when I hear some of this other shit, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? It's like listening to something outside of this. And I, just like you, Wayne, I heard all of this shit the whole time. I've heard every variety of hip hop, wide and everything. But I also remember there was a time with like Limp Bizkit and all those other guys who were using rap to make rock. And now we're watching some brothers go out and recolonize, recapture something, but we not pushing for it to be that. And they're telling us. One dude calls this shit rage. That's a direct reflection of rock. It has nothing to do with hip hop. Another guy's calling himself a rock star. It's not just the fashion. The fashion fits the music.
So I think, but I also believe that. Go ahead.
My bad. How do you classify?
Interesting.
Yeah, what do you think? should we just declassify this? Like, should this become?
No, Head always sees me when I say it's my record too. It's my record too. It's my culture too. I just think it depends. It is a subgenre, right? It was existing. Carti was doing this. Ken Carson, these guys, to a certain level, I guess Travis, right? And it's like it's gone mainstream and it impacts. So once it goes mainstream and impacts, it does reflect hip hop culture, whether we like it or not, or can connect to it. I think it just depends. I mean, some artists will stay in that sort of subgenre of it and not pop off on a big scale. And some like Carti, as we saw with his project, will even make records to try to reach that and expand his sound. So I think that's what that comes down to.
What do you think?
Same shit we've been saying.
It's not for me, right? You said?
He ain't talking to me. I'm a hip hop fan. I like pop punk, and I like alternative rock. Just fall somewhere in the middle. They ain't talking to me.
But is it a part of hip hop culture?
What, rage rap?
And like even he mentioned Travis there.
Well, yeah, did Travis already create that in a sense or pioneer that in a sense?
No, it's not that. It's just that I share in Glass's sentiment that hip hop is street urban culture musically. So if somebody is representing or exuding or perpetuating street urban culture, then that's hip hop. If it's not, then it's not.
So you think there's a bunch of rappers who don't come from that at all? You wouldn't consider them hip hop?
No, I consider those to be hip hop influenced rappers.
Mm.
Like, for instance, like I disagree that you have to be street urban culture in order to be hip hop.
Because he's pretty strong on that.
He's strong on that, but I do think that there's an element to it. I don't think hip hop is one thing. Hip hop is obviously elements, 5 or whatever, right? But I also think that hip hop is evolved into a thing where it's bigger than that. You could be hip hop like Jeremy Heck. You're not a DJ, a graffiti artist. Well, you're a rapper, so fuck it.
The hype.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on your Mount Rushmore.
Is Rory hip hop?
I would say so, yeah.
What makes him hip hop?
His contribution and immersing himself in this world. It seems like he's always, been a part of it to some degree.
So, I remember like Glass is saying like Jack Harlow's not hip hop. I disagree with that, right? I think Jack Harlow's a rapper. So, I believe him to be part of hip hop culture. Now, where it gets murky is when you start to look at street urban culture versus, hip hop versus rap. You could be a rapper without being hip hop.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's a distinction. Yeah. Some people draw a distinction between hip hop culture and rap music.
Yes, you
like
could be a
rap music, but it doesn't really connect to the hip hop culture.
Correct. You could be a rapper without being hip hop,
like a Doja Cat or somebody like that.
I consider Doja Cat to be.
She's hip hop. She plays with pop though.
Well, it's always the fight. We
don't. We won't mention it. I didn't want to mention the name. But yeah, we're gonna. And I think the point was made on that panel too is that hip hop is gonna continue to infiltrate, or rap will infiltrate pop music more and more because it's been the most successful way to express yourself.
What happens when a guy from Los Angeles or wherever, a real community, right, loves that musical sound and finds ways to really write captivating, dope lyrics and bars about street life, whatever, with that sound? Then that maybe breaks that door down more, because then someone like Glass will be like, oh, I know homies from this hood and he took that sound. And, Run DMC, that was the ascension. They said they're the kings of rock. That just meant we're the kings of rap, but we also want to be viewed as the biggest on all stages. Like we're going against Bruce Springsteen and Madonna and all that. We want to be the best, so we're the kings of rock. It's not even enough to say you're the kings of rap.
I agree with you, but I think I think the whole genre is convoluted at this point, because Shabuzi's a country artist, right? Post Malone's now a country artist. Do they make the same music?
But I just think we're lacking an artist of what we feel with authenticity that represents the culture, creating that art. We didn't look for that with Travis Scott, right? We didn't look for Travis Scott to be this like hip hop culture rooted even in the West Side of what hip hop culture looks like. No one there yet is representing that to us.
Yeah, but I disagree in the sense that there are certain people who also could be playing into these personas that they assume.
Oh, they are. Most are, I think. That's my point. Yeah.
Lil Uzi Vert, he's a rock star. He's he's in this class of people, or that people would put Lil Uzi in this circuit of individuals, right? But Lil Uzi is like a Philly nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he a real little Philly nigga. Like he not like a weirdo. He not like, people look at him like that, but he's still like a little young wild Philly nigga at the end of the day. But I consider him to be hip hop.
But his biggest record, the EXO record, that doesn't have that sound.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. Like you could be hip hop, but still not present that.
Well,
like you could be a rapper and not be hip hop.
But what I'm trying to say is I don't think that this rage era thing is not going to be looked at with the respect until somebody who's truly authentic approaches that type of music and can deliver a little bit more lyrics to it and earn our respect.
I think recipes to Juice WRLD. I think Juice WRLD, we always talk about like that next generation, and I think we lost the next generation of massive stars with Pop Smoke, XXX, and Juice WRLD. But I think Juice WRLD would have been the guy had he really put time into crafting his songs, because he was the best freestyler I've ever seen. Like
he went
dead
crazy
or alive, he was insane. And you're watching and you're like, is this really happening? Like, see, so had he put time, but his biggest songs were, alternative sounding, pop punk sounding, but had he put time into crafting songs, because I heard he would go into the studio and just punch out like 10 songs, freestyling them. Had he put time into putting lyrics into songs the way he was actually rapping, I think he could have been the first to really merge those worlds.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
I think Juice would have been a good candidate for it.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of candidates, there's the XXL freshman class is coming up. I know it's an interesting space right now where there's a lot of people that aren't they might not even consider themselves rappers, some of these people, and some of these people have a lot of different influences. But is there anybody from that list that you guys are looking at?
Is Jello on there?
Jello is on the nomination
Is my nigga
list.
Jello on there?
I think he'll make the cover. I honestly think that
He should. He got the Tweaker record is still one of the biggest of the year.
I think it's Hanumankind, Indian rapper. I think I could see him getting on there.
His
like
record
his
was
stuff?
Huge record. I could
Wait,
see.
what was the record? I missed this one.
It was called Big Dogs.
Yeah, it was. It had. Was it a 3-6 sample? I think.
It was like, da, na, na,
What's his name again? Is the Indian rapper?
Yeah,
Hanumankind.
Hanumankind.
Okay.
He had an ASAP remix too. Ian, I think they'll put Ian on there. These are my predictions. This isn't necessarily who I think we're on. Yeah, so that's two. We had Jello, we had Hanumankind. I think they'll put Ian on there. I think Ray Vaughn will be on there.
Ray Vaughn.
I think maybe Caribou, but I could see Caribou still being on there.
Despite leaving Yachty, she's not really on the political side right now.
Samara Sin.
I like her. Yeah,
I like her. She can rap. That's 5. I'm gonna go with
Jeremy Heck freshman picks.
Osama
Look what life's
Sun.
become. I create this shit and I gotta watch Jeremy Heck fucking make picks on it.
This is
fun.
this is legacy. This is
my life.
You pass the baton so that I can run.
Damn near like 20 years later, right? Shit.
Which is crazy. I would think another West Coast person, like either 310 Baby or Lefty or Peso.
They say a lot of times the West Coast gets shunned on that. They don't. 310 Baby could have made it. Maybe they made it last year. That's what the streets were saying. I remember, right?
Yeah, I think he should be
I
on
don't
there.
give a fuck no more, honestly.
Have you guys seen 1900 Rugrat? He's popular. I feel like he's popping enough.
He's got that rage sound the kids love.
I don't know. Anyone else that you guys think that these aren't necessarily my favorite on here? Like I really like.
Okay, who's your favorite freshman? Before we get out of this.
Ian Triplin, I really like.
Who the fuck is that?
He's dope.
Your head voice.
He can rap his ass off, but he also he studies the game, but he can also make a good melodic song. I listened to the Dave. I like Charlie. Yeah, I'll go back. I'll make an official list. But I tried listening to the Dave Blunt's album.
A favorite of our guy CT to work.
Yeah, CT loves Dave Blunt's. He was like, you gotta listen. I said I wasn't
Kanye West's writer right now.
He apparently wrote his entire album that we won't name. I got 4 bars into the intro and I couldn't do it after that.
What did he do in the intro?
He said something to the degree of, you know what? I'll read it to you.
Oh my God.
It was
offensive?
It was
to white people?
No.
Not all of them.
No. And that's the thing. Hit Dogs Holler. I never take white comments as offensive to me because if
he said something. He said some shit for sure. He said some shit.
He said, this is Solar's departure. Okay. He said, bitch, I feel like Morgan Freeman. I got lean on me. When we effing, she be squirting. She be peeing on me.
Woo.
F so good, I make her have an early period. She be saying that she loved me. I ain't hearing it. And that's when where I turned it off. Yeah, that's I couldn't do it after that. But I hope he stays healthy. Hope he continues to get his steps in. And I hope
that's like the first joint.
Yeah.
But he's definitely making that freshman list.
Yeah, he'll be on the freshman. He will be on the freshman list.
Dave Blunt's gonna be on there.
What if he don't?
1,000 lashes, man.
CT's gonna be mad. Yeah, he's not gonna be happy if Dave Blunt's doesn't.
Where's your belt, man? How was Vegas, man? Let's see. Where's your belt, man? Oh, can I crash out on Travis Scott and that bullshit ass finish in the WWE? How Travis Scott is ruining wrestling?
He's getting involved and thinks he doesn't need to be involved.
Travis Scott is over his pay grade. What's going on here? Why is Travis Scott single-handedly ruining wrestling? How is he the guy that fucking be part of the major finish of the greatest championship, 17 championships, John Cena? Travis Scott hops over the ropes? That's what we're doing? And I love Triple H. That's my guy. But come on, man.
I disagree with the creative direction.
He wouldn't have written it like that.
Yeah, but
But I did a little deep dive, Jeremy Heck style. So it's a quiet war between The Rock and Triple H, right? Because The Rock is part of the ownership, the TKO, whatever it is.
The Rock is one of the chairmen. He on the board for TKO Holdings, which is TKO owns UFC and WWE.
But Triple H makes it adamant that he's like the Jay-Z of the Super Bowl. He's the decision maker. He's the final
Triple
voice.
H is the chief content officer of the WWE, quote unquote. He is the guy that's running things.
Yeah, so we set up a storyline that involves The Rock and Travis Scott, and then we get to WrestleMania. We see Travis Scott. We don't see The Rock.
I disagree with the creative decision, but
you expected to see The Rock?
No. Well, yes, I did, because I was there, and everybody was they had their phones out when they were waiting, and we were all just waiting for the If You Smell, and the If You Smell never came, because I thought Rock was trolling. The first day of WrestleMania, the day before the first day of WrestleMania, I think Rock posted, I saw it in the morning, but Rock posted a video of him driving in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
He's like, yeah, I'm at the ranch, love coming home. But I'm like, man, this nigga's trolling. He's in Vegas. He was not in Vegas. He was in Hawaii.
It's like, I told him exactly where I said I was.
Yeah. Travis Scott being involved in this legendary program. We call it program in the business. Like I'm in the fucking wrestling business.
You damn sure are now. Close, yeah. This Netflix thing, you haven't missed anything with this shit going on now, man.
Yeah, so Travis Scott is involved, and John Cena's broken Ric Flair's record for
17.
Yeah, Ric Flair hold the record for most world titles, which is 16. John Cena now 17. I wouldn't have involved Travis Scott in that. If anything, I would involve The Rock, just because of the storyline that they built around this and whatnot. John Cena's now heel, which means he's a bad guy. He fought the babyface, which is a good guy, Cody Rhodes. There was no need for Travis Scott to be a part of that. But I also think that they had to figure out a way to involve him in the show, because he does have a deal with WWE, which I think at the Fanatics Fest, I think they kind of went public with it when Travis Scott popped out, and it was like, what the fuck is Travis Scott doing here? You know what I mean? And then
remember, you said he got a belt too. He has a hardcore belt. It's his belt.
So Triple H at Complex Con, when I was there, gave Travis Scott the Hardcore Championship, which is interesting because the Hardcore Championship went away when Vince McMahon decided to do a major television deal for WWE. They went to a PG rating, which you can't curse, you can't show blood, you can't do titties, you can't all the shit that Vince was doing. You can't do none of that shit with a PG.
Vince was doing more than that.
Yeah. So then that's when you got the John Cena Fruity Pebble era. That's what they call it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas he wore the colorful t-shirts, and he, doing this with kids, and, became more family oriented. I think what's happening now is you're starting to see, there was two eras. The Attitude Era, which is what this belt is from. If you see right here, it says Attitude. This is the Stone Cold Steve Austin Smoking Skull Limited Edition belt.
Now how did we get in possession of this?
I went and got it from WrestleMania. They had a superstore there. I went and got it.
You didn't steal it from Travis Scott?
Hell no. Went and bought this motherfucker myself. I've been wanting this since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So, and it has
look at how excited he is.
And it has the seal of authenticity right here on the back.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
The seal of authenticity.
Yeah, seal of authenticity.
Look that shit up.
And you know what? Do you know what they used to call Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Rattlesnake.
No.
The rattlesnake.
Oh, so it's snake skin. Can I feel the snake skin? Feels like real snake skin. So
anyway, long story short, Travis Scott is the hardcore champion. Don't know how that's gonna go story wise, because the hardcore champion is one that's supposed to be defended 24/7. Your hotel,
you can jump on him right now,
the
beat
airport,
him up, pin him. I win.
As long as you got a ref with you, you can beat somebody that take the hardcore championship. No idea what.
Watch your back, Travis Scott.
So what I think is actually happening, transpiring, like I said, there's two eras: the Attitude Era, late 90s, early 2000s. Then came the Ruthless Aggression Era. John Cena, when he was doing Dr. Thugonomics, he was rapping and shit like that. I think what's happening now is you're going to get a different rating on the programming. Not SmackDown, because SmackDown is still on the other network. Netflix has Raw. Netflix doesn't necessarily have the same limitations.
You can do anything. Blood.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think they're going to bring back some of that ruthless aggression shit, where you're going to get some more tables, some more, chair shots. You're going to get a couple. It's going to be a little bit more violent, you know what I'm saying, so to speak. And you might see a little bit more the stuff that we used to miss about old school wrestling. Now, I went to Vegas to go to Wale Mania.
Shout out Wale.
Shout out to Wale, Kaz, the whole team. Shout out to Sade and the whole Netflix team.
Shout out Sade.
May and everybody. We went to Wale Mania. There was a rap battle.
Really?
on stage, and I don't know if anybody filmed this shit. I'm standing there, and I want to get this correct. Let me make sure I
Between wrestlers?
No.
Between rappers?
Local rappers?
Yes.
Las
Vegas
Vegas?
finest?
Bro.
Vegas rappers got busy.
Bro, no, it wasn't local rappers. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you what it was. Hold on. So I go to Wale Mania. I'm there. I'm watching the show. Everything's good. Bootleg Kev is there. He's like he pulls up. I'm just kind of sitting there. I'm watching the show. Whatever. It's dope. They got Naomi there. Jey Uso's there.
Jey Uso's my favorite.
You would be a
Jey Uso fan?
Yeah, once I saw his entrance, I was like, he's my favorite.
Oh, I was there with the Monday night. Yeah. You liked him, that Monday Night Raw return.
They guest of honor was Jeff Hardy, which is super dope.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a rap battle that took place between DNA, Tay Rock, Saga, and Chess. Fire. When I tell you this rap battle was fucking fire, it was fire. I had to pull him aside after the show, like, yo, that shit was fire, bro.
Was it 1v1v1v1
No,
or how
it was 2-on-2.
Oh, that's dope.
It was 2. I don't remember who was on what team, but Tay Rock, DNA, bro. When I tell you this, the footage has to be somewhere online. You have to go watch this fucking rap battle. If you fuck with wrestling, them niggas
it's fitting the bigger picture now. You see, it's fitting the bigger picture. We're not just talking about wrestling. It's hip hop too, baby.
Yeah, no, they had the battle was fire, bro.
Oh,
me and Kev were losing our shit because it was
really.
Yes,
it
bro.
impressed legendary DJs like yourselves.
Bro, I went to them after the battle and I was like, yo, this was fucking incredible. I mean, don't get me wrong. 2 of the homies, I don't remember who was battling on what team, but when I tell you 2 of the homies got washed, they got dog walked on this stage.
Oh, here, I this isn't the full clip, but I found like a 29-second thing.
X gonna research this whole thing now.
Play it.
It was like,
I'm a violent, he at God's gate. I'm from the Attitude Era, but WrestleMania promos had Fred Durst. I rhyme straight from that mind state. So if I leave Rock Stone Cold with a limp biscuit, it's my way or the highway. Yo, I'm really losing it, bro. They act like I ain't paving lane for believers, so the rumor can grow with the stupidest flow. But they gon' question how I pull strings from my road dog like.
that's fire. Getting the crowd to finish it.
Bro. Top tier hip hop moment.
Dope.
All right.
I fuck with that shit.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wale Mania. Shout out to Netflix, the whole team. That was dope. Went to WrestleMania both days. Then
yeah, first I got Paul Heyman turned on everybody, hitting people in the nutsack. What the fuck's going on?
That was crazy. I go to Monday Night Raw.
You stayed.
I'm in Vegas.
Look at this guy.
I'm in Vegas.
No wonder I couldn't hear about the Rory challenge and shit.
I
About
didn't give a fuck about none of that. Rory was texting me. Rory was texting me. I'm like, bro, I hit you tonight. You know what I'm saying? And then he's on East Coast time. So by the time I hit him, his girl probably like, yo, who the fuck is calling your phone? And you know.
So you went to Wale Mania, WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, and then the Monday Night Raw?
Yes.
God, this guy.
And then he tweeted, what did you
Stone
say
Cold
this?
Paraphernalia?
Oh, I wore that to WrestleMania.
You said, I'm a wrestling fan.
You have to read it like the...
You read it because I can't see that far, my vision.
I'm a wrestling fan. Of course I know it's fake. But so are a lot of y'all.
I commented saying, wrestling might be more real than 80% of the rap game, if not 99%.
I can see that. We getting the rap shit, and we got to talk about Wiz real quick.
Yes. Yeah, what did you guys think? Wiz Khalifa dropped Kush and Orange Juice 2. After years of dominating the blog era with this album, the initial one, and he's
following
back.
A classic.
Following a classic. Yep. And he did this with Rolling Papers 2. He had Rolling Papers 1, and then he had Rolling Papers 2 come out. Did it recapture the feeling? Did
it definitely was blog era recapturing for me. I was like, bro, this is so blog era. This is so like Light Roller J and Scroll the Smoking Section. And I was just like,
you felt secondhand high.
John Gotti.
Shout out to my dude Raj. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was like, bro, this is so blog. It ain't for me, obviously, because I don't smoke and I don't care about the blog era like that when it came to like.
Hey, easy now, easy. Part of the blog era, rap
I didn't give a fuck.
The blog era, that's where my whole that's what made me fall in love.
For me, I was in the club.
Yeah.
So you got stuff. I want no goddamn computer like y'all little dirty.
Not like that. I was outside. You know what I'm saying?
We went outside.
I didn't say you didn't. I said I was outside.
You had no computer?
Not
You
like
don't want to hear you don't want to download an MP3 or listen to
He
some
was waiting for
songs?
Mortal
keep it
Kombat.
in
It
a
never
buck.
came.
You was a DJ, but you didn't want to listen to the music off these sites that was presenting the music. You didn't care. I'm outside.
yeah, but I didn't care to like dive into like I wasn't going blog to blog like
Not
most-
deep diving.
Yeah, I wasn't deep diving like that. You know, it's like I remember DJ. I remember one time
So you had no favorite. You didn't choose Not Right, Two Dope Boys, Rap Radar, because we fought over this shit. You said
I
smoking
was-
section. That's your team. It's your team.
Nah,
You chose
I was,
them.
I was a
You chose the smoking section.
no, it wasn't. My blog of choice was back
I'm
then.
scared to ask Jeremy his, but go ahead. Yours- What?
My blog of choice back then was I would go to Nah Right because Nah Right had I could download the songs and play them. Like I could download the MP3s off Nah Right, so I was ripping the shit off Nah Right.
Shout
But
out SK.
if I wanted to like see what I cared about, I would go to Shake and Mecca, Two Dope
People's
Boys,
Two Dope Boys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they covered a lot of our shit.
West Coast friendly.
I think I would do two Dope Boys. I did Rap Radar. I'm not just saying that. This
Somebody
site
gotta
called
say it. Somebody gotta say it.
somebody got to do it. There's a site called Good Music All Day. Do you remember that?
Okay, yeah.
They had a
uh-huh.
lot, but they had a lot of like college
Music All Day?
rap too. But they had
You
had
always
some
know what Mike
gems.
Posner's up to.
Oh yeah, Mike Posner's my guy. Honestly, I love Mike Posner. I was always checking in on where he was at. What do you think? Do you listen to any of
Thing,
that?
I think dare we say was his best album in a while, right?
Mhm.
You know, like I think he's done everything right with the project. I think it's cool. Like I think it's it's not the level of the first one, but it's some really good songs on there. It's probably a little too long. Jeremy Heck rule.
Yes.
I probably would have cut that down. It's probably got a good 9-10 songs there. But more importantly, I love how he's presenting it, how he's standing on it, how he's doing this
Promoting
amazing.
it.
This press run he's done is amazing. So yeah, shout out to Wiz, man. I think sometimes he
Wiz
like
going crazy.
he's his own entity, right? He's had success already that he's already Hall of Fame in his own right. For him to kind of connect back to the community and deliver the kind of record that we as the
Yeah.
fans want, and then go out there and rep it and do all these outlets, I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah, I respect everything he's
songs,
standing
though,
on
yeah,
except for
I
the
said that too
flatter.
many damn songs. 22 is too much.
Yeah, it's too many songs. It did make me want to smoke again. I haven't smoked all year, and I literally
You about
thought
to light
about
up?
it. I was like, oh man, this would be so nice to just hit the blunt. They
Do
say
it, Jeremy. Come on,
no,
buddy.
no, no. I'm going a year. I'm going a year sober. I'm
there we
4
go.
months in or something like that. So yeah, but
You can't clap for a white man being sober?
that's a good. He smirked. That's enough of an
You don't give a
acknowledgement.
fuck about how white men do it.
But I
Smoke
like the
that
song
shit,
with
dude.
Larry June. I like the song with Larry June a lot. I do like the Gunna song.
That's a single,
Um,
yeah. Shout out Gunna.
Yeah. And actually, before we get out of here,
Wait. Let me get. I did pick a song off.
is there a
Wiz.
slap?
No. Khalifa's Home. I like Khalifa's Home.
I like that song too.
Yeah.
I like that song too.
Run that shit.
Did you guys see Sinners?
No.
You going to see it?
Yes, but I have to wait because it's sold out in the fucking
The 70
the
millimeter.
70 millimeter.
IMAX,
I'm
yeah.
like, Kugler's like, yo, you got to go see the
Yeah,
70 mil.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, bro, like, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Oh, he
sold
told you
out
personally?
everywhere.
No, I'm
Yeah?
just saying, like,
Oh.
I'm watching this shit. I'm like, bro. So I'm like, all right, I got to find a 70 millimeter fucking theater now. Like, that's different from an IMAX?
It's like it's an IMAX theater, but there's an IMAX 70 millimeter.
Bro, this is
it's
like,
sold out everywhere.
this shit like buying a Sony camera now. Like, you got the 7A7 III, and then you got the Sony A7 IIIS. You
I
got
know.
the Sony, like, come on, my nigga.
I saw a bootlegged version in only
We
Dolby.
watching the movie, we not watching the movie.
You watched the bootleg version?
Well, no. I'm saying I saw it in the Dolby theater AMC experience. It was supposed to be higher quality sound and vision, but it wasn't, the 70 millimeter IMAX. But
Are you taking your queen?
we went yesterday night.
You did? Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It
We
was a
went
late.
yesterday
This is
night.
why Rory hates you.
Yes.
That's
yesterday
called
night.
last night.
You already had a romantic date to Sinners?
we went last night. Yeah, we had a great
This nigga's
romantic date
This is why Rory despises you.
We
You
were
out here
happy
romantic dates to,
in the middle of the
You
week.
hear what he
movie that-
said?
What, say it again?
You was too busy talking. You didn't hear what he said.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
He said we went yesterday night.
That is kind of a weird way to say it now that I'm thinking about it.
Not last night?
Last night.
Yesterday
Yesterday
We
night.
night.
literally have a word for that.
Yesterday night.
Well,
Yesterday night.
if you've seen the movie, sometimes the night before feels like a long time ago.
Maybe
What?
because
They'll know when they see the
because
movie.
Indacted Combs had a record last night.
It's yeah, that's
so
what,
that's why Jeremy's changing it to yesterday night.
it's Canadian. Maybe it's a
yesterday
Canadian saying.
night.
Puff and Keisha Cole, both not from Canada. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but they said last night. They didn't say
Yesterday
yesterday
night.
night. I'm changing it to yesterday night. That is a weird way to say it.
I like that though.
But the movie itself was incredible. If anyone hasn't seen it, I won't do any spoilers.
Wait,
but
so did you watch it in the highest quality, or you didn't? Give a
it was
fuck?
like a tier B quality, still higher than regular, but it wasn't normal, or it wasn't 70 millimeters, but it was an exciting journey the whole way through. That's what I'll say. Like, you're in the world that they've created for a whole 2 hours, the ups and downs. I have really no critique at all. Like, I really love the movie.
Solid A.
But one scene that I really loved, and I won't really say what happened.
70 mil screenshot.
There's a 70 mil screenshot. But there was this one scene where they're talking about the blues music, and this guy who was playing blues, he played the harmonica and the piano the whole time, and he was reflecting on severe trauma that he witnessed and had went through, and that his family and friends had gone through. And he immediately, as he was thinking about the trauma, just went into like hitting a drum beat and started like creating music out of the trauma that he was experiencing. And I think it just showcased how certain music can only be made through lived experience. Like, we talked about that with hip hop too. Like, there's certain things that you could study, and there's kind of other elements in the movie where there's people who are trying to create music like that, but it just doesn't have the soul. And so that was my favorite scene in the movie, if anyone's watched it. But
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go see it. I'm not demanding the A+ quality.
You're gonna watch a regular theater?
Wherever I can get it. It's a hard ticket, man. So shout out to that.
Yeah,
More
It's sold out everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's doing well.
They did it.
Spotlight.
I only got one. My guy Key Glock.
Shout out to Key Glock.
Yeah, shout out to Key Glock.
Yeah, he dropped a new song, The Grinch. Samples that classic Curtis Mayfield record, A Little Child Running Wild. And I heard his album, man. Glockavelli's finally coming out. I think not this Friday, May 5th, next Friday. Got a little advance on that. It's dope. I promise you it's dope. DJ Headstyle, I promise you.
Okay.
You're gonna have a great week at hip hop when that drops. May
Hey
5th.
man, stay on stream.
I got new song The Louvre, which was just high quality rapping.
Oh, East Coast,
Yeah,
baby.
super dope. Static Selecta, West Side Gun, Joey Badass, Rome Streets, and Stove God Cooks. And everyone came with bars. I was actually dissecting. I was trying to find. There wasn't really anything in those. But it was just high quality rapping, good lyricism. Who else did I like recently this week? There's a lot. I mean, Jid. We didn't talk about his.
Work.
But Work was fire.
Why did you give us a visual? We talked about that earlier. Like, I don't want to visualize. I want a visual. Stop visualizing me. I want a visual. Like, why didn't we get a Jid video with this song?
Yeah, I would hope that we get that soon, because it some people are even calling it a slap. I don't know if I can't certify it, but some people
He
were
goes
saying
crazy
that.
on that second verse, though.
Yeah, he was rapping his ass off.
Shout out Jid.
And then shout out to Christian rapper actually Alex Jean, who I recently saw in concert, and his
watch out,
his
Miles
crowd.
Minnick.
No, they're cool. They're apparently I have miles about them. They're cool. I think they've worked on some stuff together. But it's cool to see how like the entire crowd is just tuned in every lyric, but it's such a positive vibe because he's up there praying, and he sounds like Pop Smoke. He literally has the voice of Pop Smoke, but he's rapping about Bible verses. Like he has a song. It's titled a Bible verse, and he's like hop in the building, 1, 2, 3, Bible on me. But like he's talking about not needing a strap because he's got God. So yeah, Alex Jean, if you haven't heard him, he's super dope.
Mine is Mozzie. Mozzie just dropped a new album.
Yeah.
It's called what's Mozzie album called? I think it's called. Hold on, let me tell you right now.
Shout out Mozzie.
Mozzie just dropped it. It's a song on the album though. It's called Intrusive Thoughts. It's his new album, but the song that I've wanted to spotlight is called "Keep Calling My Name." Really, really dope, vulnerable record, but it's hard though.
By himself, no feature.
No, nope, just
Keep
him
calling my
telling
name.
the story and whatnot. Like Mozzie went through a lot. You know, he signed to CMG. He's now back independent. We did an interview. It should be dropping shortly.
Okay.
But yeah, the Intrusive Thoughts is super dope. Mozzie teamed up with an organization where they exclusively hire ex-cons. It's dope. Like the whole idea and everything is super dope. The interview I don't want to give it all away, but go check out Intrusive Thoughts from Mozzie. It's out right now.
You're getting his interviews over there at the Effective immediately. I see you out there, man.
Oh no, you have no idea.
You
So
said
go ahead.
I was
bro.
gonna say you said that the Elliott Wilson interview is gonna happen.
Oh yeah, we
soon
gotta have
on,
Elliot come
Effective
on the show.
immediately.
I just gotta figure out when. I don't. What?
As soon as Rob Martin comes to town, it's go time. I got to now pencil Elliot in. What's Elliot gonna get it?
That was
shout out to
random.
Rob.
But no,
Shout out Rob.
I know.
Shout out to Rob.
All love, Rob Markman. All love. I'm just being silly.
See what I'm saying?
No, that's why I'm cleaning it up. I don't want to be silly.
Yeah, but you didn't have to say nothing.
No, but I was jealous. I saw Rob Markman up there.
Like you could be jealous intrinsically.
Okay, can we just full disclosure what happened? This I had plays me. Can we talk about what happened last week?
Yeah.
Let's be honest now. It's an honest place, right?
Also, this is fourth quarter. This is like buzzer
He
beating.
says, "Yo, Elliott, today I got interviewing in Fufu, and in Fufu, you should come by. You should come by watch the show. Okay, cool. I'll come by. I'm invited. Blah blah." And then I'm like, "All right, well, I don't know. I think the first act I knew. The second one I didn't. So I was like, I'm gonna leave after the first act. Is that cool? Blah blah. He's like, oh, you need to stay for the whole thing. Da 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 da. And then my invite then turned into, oh, you should just be the guest, and that changed and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I see another fellow great journalist being interviewed, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, did I get benched? You've like you've invited me, fake invited me, rescinded the invite, then said you're gonna book me. And we went through all this emotion, and I didn't even understand why. I didn't ask for any of it. I love you. I see you every week. I don't know what happened. Am I bugging?
You brought him on the highs and lows.
Yeah, is that what happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your version of it? Isn't that what happened?
I saw he invited you.
You never invite me to shit. I never invite you to shit. Come to the thing. And then it's just like, okay, then don't come to the thing. I'd rather interview you.
I'd rather have you on the show.
But you just thought of that? Like, that's a revelation? Like, what made you invite me then? Now the invite all of a sudden means, oh, fuck invite him to just watch the show. He's worthy enough to be talked to. When did that happen?
What are you talking about? Okay, ask me the question. What's the question?
I would think that I'm already worthy to be interviewed, just like a Rob Markman. I would already be worthy to be interviewed on your platform, right?
Right. Did you watch the Rob Markman episode?
Not at all. I've not had the pleasure to yet.
Okay,
I will.
So
I will watch the interview.
So you're speaking without context.
I will call B.Dot. Okay, what?
Rob Markman was not interviewed. He sat in on our show.
Okay, but
there was no interview.
Okay, but I wasn't. So I was invited to sat in, but you were interviewing 2 other artists at that time. So you wouldn't have me sit in the interviews and be active. I was just going to observe and watch the interviews.
I wanted you to come on the show with us.
That's not what your first
I
thing
know
was.
because I just had it.
Okay, so how would that have gone? I wouldn't have been active in the show like Rob Markman. I just would have been in the back observing you doing interviews, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, that's stupid. I should have you on the show.
But why did that change? But this is all in your mind and your process without
communication. Yeah, because I'm like, why would I? Huh?
How did we get here?
No, because I'm like, he's the one that's going to explain it.
But you're making it sound reasonable. All of this is just in the mind of DJ Head. None of us are participating.
Okay, so
how do you go from
I'm answering the
Elliott play the back and watch me interview niggas to Elliott should be interviewed?
You have to let me answer a question if you ask it.
Yes.
That's how questions work. You ask it, and then you stop.
Who wouldn't want to partner with this guy, right? Elliott Wilson.
See what I'm saying? Fun. You don't have to do this.
I'm trying to understand, though. I got to be honest with you. I don't understand. Do you want to? Can we ask Jeremy Heck what he thinks? Am I bugging? What I said?
Jeremy Heck.
What did I do?
He's an
what the fuck did I do?
He's
I'm
an
sitting here
voice.
and you guys are going at it. Don't bring me into this shit, okay? I am sitting here.
I'm
quietly.
like, Jeremy. No, can I first hear how Jeremy feels about what's been said so far?
Okay.
Maybe I'm bugging.
You are.
All right. Do you want me to?
I want your honest take on whatever.
I'll explain what I think happened, as I know we got to wrap it up. DJ Head was very much trying to be inclusive because he knows that occasionally you crash out if you're not invited to a whole bunch of stuff. And he's talking about, I got this going on, and you don't get the invite. So he was talking about his interviews. And in that moment, I believe DJ Head had a light bulb and said, I realize what Elliott's reaction is sometimes. Let me throw him the invite. I'm talking about all this shit. Elliott, do you want to come through and see the station, see the show? Okay. Now
I haven't been there yet. I've never been there.
You haven't been there. Now, as he said it, he's like, okay, well, we're doing an actual show. Elliott's great with content. He's a well-respected hip-hop journalist. He's the GOAT. Let me invite, I don't know if all those things said in his head, but he's like, let me actually, if he's going to be in the building, get him on the show. Let's set it up properly rather than just having him coming in last minute when we don't have the mics or the time. We want to make sure Elliott's there for a full setup. So he didn't necessarily have the date planned in that moment, and he was going to come back to it. And then I do believe Rob happened to be in town. He did the same thing to Rob, probably invited him to the studio to come watch. Rob being there and being a great voice in hip-hop journalism, he was there. They probably asked him something. He probably stepped in and had a conversation to some degree with them, which you probably would have done there, but he wanted to set it up more properly for you because of his respect for you. Is that correct? Right, whirl out. Okay, there you go. All you need is me in the room to get conflict resolved.
Are you going to show up?
I'll pull up if I'm invited.
What the fuck is he showing up for?
I'm just joking, no.
Bro, what the fuck is y'all
I'm
talking
just
about?
playing. All right. You're right. I guess I'm
We
right,
made
DJ.
it
I apologize. I'm sorry.
so close to the end. That was literally within the last thing that we said.
That was a crash
It was
out?
in spot.
Maybe I always crash out at the end just because I'm just tired.
You just- yeah, you need to.
exhausted. Like mental. I want to talk to. So Gina Views is gonna ask me questions.
No.
We're
Elliot,
just gonna
listen,
talk.
not if you don't do. What do you want?
No, tell me. I'm sorry. You didn't get to respond.
What
My
do you
bad.
want?
I want better understanding. I don't understand.
He just
things.
gave you that. Now what do you want?
I want to hear from you.
Everything he said.
What would you love? It's
Now
your
what do you
platform.
want?
I'm gonna enjoy the Rob Markman episode and everything. I just want to know, how do you see what the future holds for me on the Effective Music program?
What? You want to just come watch the show? You
might be
come watch the
something
show.
wrong.
I don't have a
There
problem
might
with you
be
coming watch the
something
show.
wrong
I'm like,
here.
you know what? There's better use for this. Let me just figure it out when you can come on the show and be on the show.
Okay, I'd love to be on the show.
That was it. I don't think about this shit that deep. Jeremy Hector, all the deep shit, he dove into the realms of the fuck all that. Hey, bro, I had a thought in real time. I shared it. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, share the video with someone you like. We're trying to build this shit up. If you like this, share it with somebody you also think would like this episode. We're getting close to 50.
West Coast. Like, comment, subscribe.
There we go.
Do your thing. Shout out to the chat.
Hope you enjoyed us talking about
This
ourselves.
episode is very interesting.
It is, right?
It was a
You know
good
what I'm
one.
saying?
Yeah.
And also, next week.
Yeah, you
There
promised
we go.
this
Next
time.
week. You
I
hear
mean, it
that?
ain't up to me, but hey, if it don't happen, go fuck yourself.
The bigger picture. Oh, Lord.
Okay. Oh, wait.
I like an old Dominican
That's
man. I
actually
like it.
fire.
Hey, papi. Papi, go get me a soda.
Why'd they do that to Elliot?
Bro,
Like an old Dominican
why
man.
is
I love
Jeremy the only nigga that look decent?
Yeah, I
Right?
kind of look like me. You got they made you look
it.
crazy.
Yo, Jeremy.
Why do I look like Scarface?
They aged.
No, Jeremy looked like Ian Schwartzman.
Yeah, they aged Head by at least like 30
Head
years.
looked like he did a bid.
Yo, they.
I know he's looking
I look like Scarface.
This is incredible, though.
Elliot
love
looks
it.
That's for
nothing
sure
like
Brad
I like
Jordan
it.
right there.
I'm an old Dominican man. Papi.
nothing
What's
like
the soda?
that. Oh, what do we got on the? Oh, we got tiramisu and broccoli. What's the thing on the bottom?
Is that head again?
That's a replacement head.
This is
Replacement head.
another head.
That's head without his hat. You can replace his head.
What he got? He grew
No, that's
hair.
not me.
He just grew hair magically.
This shit is crazy.
And then the pen.
You know
for
who I look like? I
journalism.
look like Emery.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They said I was doing the.
That's Emery Jones for sure with the sweatsuit and everything.
They said I was doing the Michael B. Jordan pose. With the hand. Yeah, that does that. Yeah, that does look like Justin.
That's incredible, Ian
With-
Schwartzman.
All the white dudes with beards.
Benzino's father? Papa Benzino?
You look like
I look like I should retire, though. Nigga old. That
you
nigga
look
old.
like you just showed up to the function but didn't know what was going on, and then they just asked for the picture.
But
You
having
showed
that
up-
hoodie on
you showed up
as
to
an
the
old
carne
man?
asada and didn't know what was about to
Having
happen.
that hoodie on and being that old is crazy.
Shout
I
out
love
to
it, though.
production.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah,
we love
thank you guys for trying.
Photos? Let's get out of here. Photos.